Good
morning.
morning, friends.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning,
Good morning. So, I don't know how many students are there. Can you explain how many students are there in online or offline?
Totally 600 plus students have been admitted,
Okay.
and like more than 400 would be joining through the YouTube link and they will be watching, sir.
Please.
Yes, sir. Only
Okay.
myself and yourself are in this Google Meet, but this is relied on YouTube link and they are watching, sir.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Actually, interaction with some students, it will be more okay because to what is stress, how to overcome stress. Interactive session, it will be more. Otherwise, it will not be monotonous. Okay, no problem.
Yeah,
Each
so
student,
they will be not be able to talk, sir. So they will pass on the questions to us.
fine.
So at
Okay,
11:15, Hanundu Kalge, I will ask the questions, sir.
fine.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I think last. Hello, hello.
ಹೇಳಿ ಸರ್.
Kelsa ji, are you?
ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಸರ್.
Okay, fine. Okay. I think last time some students were not able to understand my Kannada. I think many non-Kannadigas were there.
Yeah.
I came to know. Okay, but I would like to just brief in nutshell what did I explain last class. I will in nutshell I will explain.
Thanks a lot, sir, for your
Okay.
kindness to even include the English. Thank you, sir.
Of course, like if you had told me last year, last class itself, I would have been spoken my level. No
Yeah.
problem. No problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Now let us discuss what is the cause for stress. Can you explain, sir? Just briefly, no problem. It's absolutely interactive session. One or two students, or you yourself, no problem. Absolutely. Yes, sir. No, as far as we concerned, what is stress, how to overcome. Afterwards, I will explain how to overcome. What are the tools, how to overcome. Because every kind of life, commonly from LKG student to professor, commonly we tell, oh, stress, attention, all these are the common phenomena, very important. Now, let us see what is the cause of stress. What do you mean by stress?
Yeah, so technically speaking, it's the load by area. So if our mind is not broad enough to take all the situation, then we feel it as stress. So either by reducing the cause for that or by increasing our mental capacity, the stress can be handled. This is what I understand, sir.
Okay. So before that, I am going to ask her. So mind is a main cause according to your perception or generally. So mind. See, Maharshi Patanjali regarding this one yoga. Mind is the main cause for the bondage or liberation. Mind is the main reason.
Yes, sir. Manayo Manishanam Kanam Bandha Mokshayo.
Internet just stop ಆಯ್ತು.
I think there's a technical issue. We'll just wait.
ಈಗ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಸರ್,
ನಮ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಅವ್ರ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ
ಅದು ಯಾವ ಕಡೆ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಸ್
No.
Yes, Guruji.
Namaste.
You're audible
Sorry
and
for
visible.
the sorry for the
No problem.
Okay, sir, I would like to ask you, what do you mean by mind?
It's very difficult to define the subtle things. That's what I learned. And if we have to say, we can say that it's a collection of thoughts and emotions.
Yes, bundle of thoughts. Yes. Oh, fine. Okay, again, see, conscious mind, unconscious mind, subconscious mind, superconscious mind. Mind is the main cause for all this one. Now, okay, before that, just I would like to just tell a few words about stress. Because of too much expectation, karmanye vadikaraste ma paleshu kadachanaha. Even many of us, because of too much of expectation and suppression, these are two important things. Many of us, we don't know how to release our stress, how to release our this one. Once you suppress your feelings, it leads to depression. Okay, now Charlie Chaplin, see, three heart-touching words of Charlie Chaplin. So, nothing is permanent in this world, not even your troubles. Charlie Chaplin says one heart-touching words. We people, knowingly or unknowingly, want to hurry, and worry, always worry. And then this food habit. These are the three important aspects. Number one, nothing is permanent in this world, not even your troubles. Number one, Charlie Chaplin's heart-touching word. Second one is, I like to walk in the rain because nobody can see my tears. Second one. Third one, the most wasted day in the life is the day in which you have not laughed. Laughed is one of the best exercises overcome for our stress. Now, last class, just I was explaining about how to overcome principles of health. See, I have explained early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. Generally, are we when your friends or off friends or whatever, wherever we go, generally they late to bed, late to get up. That's one major thing. And then we need 6 doctors. One is proper. We need 5 to 6 hours sound sleep, or 6 to 7, of course, it depends upon the situation. We need 5 to 6 hours proper sleep. Once you have proper sleep, 5 to 6 hours, comfortably relax, in always relax mode. Because once we get exertion, once we get stress level it increases. Okay. Number 2, always at least often out to 1 hour you should be in the sunlight, sun bath, and then always proper ventilation. See, these are the few things, and then laughter is one of the best medicine for the overcome stress. Now, friend, actually, basically, Indians are in 17th century, one of the richest country in the whole, in all culture. For example, we know agriculture, we know horticulture, we know sericulture. We know, beyond all, we don't know how to develop our culture. Culture is very, very important. What's our culture? See, nowadays, because of this Western culture, now we don't know how to develop our culture. Yoga is our culture, meditation is our culture, pranayama is our culture. See, service to human is service to God. It's our basic culture. We don't know how to develop our culture. So, before that, there was a woodcutter. Basically, generally, at least once we spare our time, 1 hour for yoga, meditation, walking, whatever it is, swimming, whatever it is. Generally, we people laziness. There was a woodcutter, one who was cutting wood. When he was cutting wood with a blunt axe, he was gone cutting the wood. So when he was cutting wood, some passerby, one was observing. What this fellow whole day down to the side was gone observing. He not even half inch also he was not supposed to cut. So then he called him. See, why don't you go to the city and why don't you sharpen this axe or this axe? And then if you sharpen this axe, would have cut within 1 hour or half an hour. See, the woodcutter says, I don't have time to go to the city and sharpen the axe. He has lot of time. He has got another 3-4 days also. You was not supposed to cut the wood, but he had lot of time to waste that time. But if he had mind, he would have cut everything in 1 hour. See, we people, if you practice 1 hour yoga or pranayama or meditation, certainly we can overcome our stress. See, number one. Second one is, first, physical health is very, very important. Rather than physically, mentally, one should be always alert. See, physical well-being, physically one should be fit. Okay. So, suppose one should be physically fit means what to do? Of course, we have to do walk, pranayam, yogasanas, whatever it is. Okay. Now, but we people developing sedentary habits, laziness. Okay. And then start the day with water and end the day with water. These are the last class I was explaining in English. In Russian I will explain. And then third one, as soon as we get up, start the day with laughter and end the day with laughter. And then laughter is one of the best medicine to overcome our stress. See, we people always, one should be always optimistic. I am healthy, I am absolutely alright, I am day by day I am increasing my life and health, mental health, spiritual health, all. There is a word, impossible, it will be in the first dictionary. Everything is possible. Where there is a will, there is a way. Through yoga, if you want to develop your willpower, automatically you can conquer anything. Through love, affection, compassion, dedication, sacrifice, forgiveness, these are all important. Generally, we people, immediately we are going to react to things. Anger is one of the main reason to getting stress. And then overload. For example, one lorry, for 10 kgs of weight or 10 feet of weight, it can carry. But instead of 10 ton or 15 ton, if you go, the lorry is going to just carry the 20 tons, 30 tons beyond that capacity, automatically immediately they will get repaired. So as much as possible, leisurely we have to do, to accept the situation as it is, and then apart from physical wellness, okay, now mental well-being, mentally one should be cool, calm, serene. How to attain? Generally we people extroverts, always extroverts. Instead of extra, Thiruvallavar's great saying, Tamil great saying, he says, instead of extrovert, one should be always introvert, inner journey, spiritual journey. So now, okay, physical fitness, mental well-being, and then social well-being. So we have to make friendship every day. Every day we have to make friendship. We have to interact with them. We have to share our thoughts. We should not stress ourselves. We should not suppress ourselves. We should not suppress. So these are the simple technique. Before that, I would like to tell simply how to overcome. This is the important pressure points are here. Through these pressure points, simply how to activate our pressure points. See, in our mind, more than 7 crores of simple cells and it's not here. So how to overcome? See, how to overcome our stress means you got to keep our hands like this and slowly clockwise 3 rounds, clockwise, and just slowly if you go on, some simple pressure points are here. See, just press, inhale, sit properly, inhale and just press and relax. Again inhale, just press and relax. These are the simple technique. And then slowly exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. These are the simple techniques. And then see, go on rubbing our hands. So see, it's important 4 pressure points are here. See, inhale and then press, inhale, press and relax. Inhale, press and relax. Again inhale, press and relax. Again inhale, press and relax. See, through this one, we have to slowly, see, go on 40 times, slowly. This is a simple technique to overcome our distress. Again, through these 3 figures, we have to tap. Again, same. Again, these 3 fingers, we have to tap it properly. Okay. Now, we have to, especially student life is golden life. Our parents minimum up to our graduation, sometimes up to our master degree. From LKG to this KG, we have learned bundle of knowledge. So, if it's small issues, we don't know how to tackle the situation. We don't know how to react, how to proact. We don't know. Our parents nearly 50 lakhs to 1 crore minimum they are going to spending for our students. So, finally, what we are going to repay for them? Nowadays, we are not, there is no value-based education nowadays. Of course, because of nowadays, because of due to stress and all, now you people, the schools and colleges, you are motivating value-based education. Once when you were studying, there was a particular session that was there, value-based education, moral study, moral class. Nowadays, where is moral class, where is morality? See, now, once upon a time, when we were young, our ancestors, they were telling about moral stories and how to develop our morality. I told you on that in the last class. Money comes and goes. Money comes and goes. But morality comes and grows. There was a slogan, there was a sloka, Arthanam Architam Dukkam. See, to earn money, this it leads to a sorrow. Of course, we need money. Some extent we need money. Some extent we need a position. Some extent we need this one. But we people, lot of expectation. ಅನ್ನದಾತುರಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಚಿನ್ನದಾತುರ ತೀಕ್ಷ್ಣ, ಚಿನ್ನದಾತುರಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಗಂಡೆಂಡಲು ಮನ್ನಣೆಯಾದ ಹಾವು ಎಲ್ಲಕ್ಕೂ ತೀಕ್ಷ್ಣ ತಿನ್ನುವುದಾತ್ಮವನೇ. Because name, fame, wherever we go, because we expected too much of expectation, too much of this one, it leads to karmanye. Without any, even simple thanks also we should not expect to from anybody. We people too much. Wife expects from the husband, husband expects from the wife, children expect from the parents, parents expect from the whole society. All this whole scenario, topsy-turvy. See, very simple reason, many of them go on worrying. We don't know how to live in the present. Either we'll live in the past, nor we'll live in the future. We don't know how to live in the present. In midnight, there was a quarrel between husband and wife. In the midnight, quarrel, why gone? See, neighbors, they were eagerly watching. Why these fellows are in the midnight? They are quarreling. So, all of them, they came, neighbors came, they were inquired. What is the reason for the quarrel? Why quarrel? Why are you just fighting each other? Why you are fighting each other? So husband says, we don't know how where we are. We don't know. Actually, this why I am telling is either now we live in the past, nor it should not happen like this. Oh, I should not marry this girl. I should not take this course. I instead of the engineering, I should have gone to this one, another MBBS or some unwanted things. Past is past. Over is over. But we don't know how to today. There's a rusking, there's a great poet, great saint say in front of his house, he put on board, today, Nenne Sati Hudu, forget yesterday, whatever is bad or good, whatever it is, you forget yesterday. Don't worry about future. Be in the present. How to live in the present, how to enjoy life, how to 24 hours, how you are going to enjoy the life, how you are going to be happy and life. So many of them, we don't know how, even many of us, we have many graduates, many students, many highly educated, how we don't know how to tackle the situation. So there was a quarrel, neighbors came and they were inquiring, what is the cause for the quarrel? So wife was telling, no, my son should be a doctor. Our intention, that's why I'm asking my husband, my son should be a doctor. So husband says, no, my son should be an engineer. So this was a quarrel. That was a reason for the quarrel. So then immediately, neighbor, one of them, they asked, forget your opinion. Let you ask bring your child, bring your son. Let him take his opinion also. So then both couple says, we don't have issue. See, even there is no issue. Before that, they are starting quarrel. This is the reason for us stress. Where we are we lead our lives properly? This introspection is, one has to always introspect ourselves. Introspection is very important. Are we in the correct path? Lifestyle is it correct? Food style is correct? Or are we interact with it properly? Are we interacting? Are we lead our proper life? For example, students, what is the parent responsibility? What is the teacher responsibility? What is the student's responsibility? Students, okay. See, many of us always reading. That's also leads to stress. Oh, because of examination sake, only we people, many of us, we are studying only for the sake of examination purpose. Only we are studying. No, to enhance our knowledge, to gain our knowledge. Whether after degree, I will get a beautiful job. I will get handsome job. I will get I can earn properly. No, it is the knowledge is, that's what our ashram slogan is, don't make your children brilliant, make them wise. Okay, let them brilliant as well as let them wise person. See, we know the Mahabharata, Ramayana, Mahabharata, Quran, Bible, whatever the scriptures you read. See, in Shanokumara's story, all of us, we have learned all this story, especially for children. These are the motivation things one has to learn, one has to teach, one has to learn, parents has to teach. See, Shanokumara's parents, they have expressed their feeling. No, I had to go to the pilgrimage to see the temples and to see the beautiful holy places and all. Immediately, Shanokumara's parents, they were blind. So with his balance basket, he took on balance basket and with his, they have carried their parents. And then how he has served the parents. After the story is next, second story is secondary. But how, when the parents says for the children, immediately they were obeying. Once upon a time when we were studying, whatever the parents says, we were obeying. Whatever the teachers, we give respect to the teachers. We give respect to the elders. Are we giving respect to the teachers, other schools, colleges, the nation? See where we are. We have to think ourselves. So friends. So now we need proper education, but unfortunately we are teaching in schools and colleges Macaulay education system. See, we don't know how to develop our Gurukula system. In Gurukula system, there is a lot. Everyone has to come. Everyone has to go stay in proper place, ashram and all. They were learning. See, there was a slogan, even a sloka, let noble thoughts come to us from every side. Plenty of knowledge in our JSS Takshashila, Nalanda, a great university. There was a beautiful university over there. Now, are we following all these scriptures, all these the ethics, morality, and where we are? So, we don't know how to, what is carnation, what is reincarnation, where, how. See, these are simple, some moral education we need. So, friends, now, next one, how to develop our willpower. It's a very, very important. Now, just simply hold our hands like this and just Jivatma should be merged with Paramatma like this, and then slowly, simply whenever you get stressed, why we get stressed, why we get annoyed, why we get because of too much of expectation, number one, and then so we need left hemisphere and right hemisphere, we know, like creative brain, logic brain, we know. Only study, okay, fine. What is the purpose to come over the schools and colleges? To, of course, study is the only main important criteria. Okay, fine. We have to study properly. But 24, no, we need extracurricular activities, drama, extracurricular songs, or music, indoor game, outdoor game, playing. All these things we need. But we people either swimming, jogging, walking, whatever it is, we have to. These are simple outlets. These are simple tools. Apart from all, meditation is one of the excellent tool for our students. This is the age. This is the age for the students, 13 to 19. This is the teenage. Many of them in schools and colleges, they are without their knowledge, they are cultivating bad habits. See, now wherever you go, smoking, charas, ganja, why? What is the reason? Because of mind is gone deviating. Because mind is diabolic. We were having a lot of students with their diabolic mind, deviating. So, the cigarette, even the donkeys, even the plant, this one, the tobacco plant, even donkeys, they won't take smell. Even monkeys, even the snakes, cobras, whichever the animal, they won't eat, they won't take smell. But we people, unfortunately, we are the students, school, college, I don't know where we are going. Still, tobacco is, smoking is, changes to health. Despite all, where we are drinking alcohol, food habit, pizza, burger, Coca-Cola, it harms our health. Then what to do? First, we have to see our physical health. We have to see our physical health. How to control our physical health? Of course, suppose sattvic food is very, very important. Now, wherever you go, refrigerator, again, it's another problem, chlorofluorocarbon. Wherever you go, this stuff, can't we avoid this refrigerator? Now, wherever you go, we need refrigerator. This stuff, our ancestors, how they were preparing food through the pot or some copper, some panchapatras are there. They were preparing food. Nowadays, cooker, refrigerator, micro oven, these are how we are innovating. See, what is the reason for the cancer? Afterwards, I would like to explain how to get rid of your problem. For example, blood pressure. What is the reason for the blood pressure? So, because of overeating and obesity, and then over this salt. These are three poisons are there. One is salt, sugar, and then why all this one maida. These are the three poisonous. Generally, wherever you go, generally we eat more sugar. Generally, we eat more maida, bakery items, and all these it dictate our health. Health is wealth. Now, are we following? See, nowadays millets, wherever you go, our food was a millets. Nowadays, arkan, all these things, these are the millets we used to use. But nowadays, we have forgotten our culture, or forgotten our food habit, or forgotten the sleeping habit. We don't know how to our culture. That is very important. Friends, before that, to overcome all these things, there's a close relationship between prana and mind. If you control your prana, automatically we can control our mind. So, how to control our prana? 5 pranas are there. Prana, apana, udana, samana, vyana. 5 pranas are there. See, how to control prana? See, the breathe is very, very important. Proper ventilation, proper breathe, proper walking. These are the important things, friends. Now, see, one has to develop our inspiration. Always be optimistic, and then we can do. I can do. Many of us say, "Oh, I can't." These are the negative. Always be positive. See, Robert the Bruce, Scotland. I would like to just give a beautiful example for the inspiration for the students. See, The Robert the Bruce, he was a king of Scotland. See, if the British people, the Britishers, England, they fought against to acquire that Scotland. They fought more than 6 times. They fought. They the King Bruce, yes, just a little defeated. Yes, defeated. So afterwards, after defeat, the King Bruce, the Robert Bruce, he went to the jungle because of course he had a small army. The King Bruce had a small army. After Britishers, they had a big army, big gigantic army. They were well weaponed, well this one. So 6 times because acquired that Scotland, there was a fight. 6 times they won the game. Finally, he went to the forest alone because of panic. Oh, I lost 6 times in the war. Then he was in the cave. He was meditating, simply sitting. When he was sitting in the cave, otherwise, why he went to the because escape from the this one. Otherwise, he would have been in the jail. They would have put him in the jail. So he went to the forest. He alone. That the army is scattered here and there. They went off here and there, and then finally he was only alone. He was gone introspecting. He was gone thinking, what should I do? How to win the Scotland? All these things. And then there's a web, just spider web. When he was observing, there was a spider web. Go on creating, go on constructing his house. Oh, and then when he was constructing, again it is fall down. Again it was destroyed. Again, it was on putting it. Finally, that website spider web has constructed a beautiful house, beautiful this one. Then only it was the inspiration. He got inspiration from the web spider. So then why can't I take a decision? Why I'm always not because of failure is the stepping stone of the success. Many of us, even the students in school, okay, fail is not important. Dear students, I would like to just give you a beautiful example. See, marks is not important. Remarks is very, very important. One should be proud in the goodness, in the good way, in the sattvic way, in the truth, in the to serve our people, to serve our parents. I'm in the first rank. You should be proudly to express yourself. I am proud enough. I am coming from the village background. I am coming from this one. I am poor background. Despite all these things, I am going to achieve this level. How you are coming here? Many of you from the rural area, you are coming. You Kannada medium. Even I was basically I was phonetic Kannadiga. I was phonetic Kannadiga up to my master's degree. I was in Kannada medium only. I was actually, but inspiration is very, very important. Everything is possible. Where there is heaven, there is a way. See, of course, even I don't know English, proper English. I don't bother. English is not our language. Many of us, because of, I don't know English, how to, forget it, no problem. If you go on, practice makes a man perfect. Go on putting your word. Always, I can talk, I can speak, I can go, I can climb. I remember in a story I told you that when she was in the when she was traveling in the train. She was an athlete when she was traveling there. I think I explained last class when she was going the train. Many thieves. There's a lot of quarrel between the fight between the Arunima Sinha and then the thieves. Finally, the thieves pushed him from the train. So she fell down. She fell down on the track. More than the 30 to 40 whole night, the train has running on her leg. Finally, morning, she was in the little bit breath. She was unconscious. And then the nearby farmers, they came and they took her into the hospital. And the doctor suggested, here this is not a proper place to operate. She has to cut her leg. And then finally, Arunima Sinha told, no, how many hours to take without anesthesia we can't operate, the doctor told. So how many hours do you want to cut my leg? Minimum 2 hours. No, I am able to just sustain. I can tolerate another 2 hours because whole night I was tolerating. I was having a lot of toleration. I can't. Certainly I can tolerate another 2 hours without any anesthesia. You can operate me. So then he has operated. The doctor has operated her leg only with one artificial leg. She has climbed Mount Everest. Now, not present. She is one of the legendary for us. See, why can't we? God has given leg, hand, eye, everything. God has given sufficient this one, jnana, knowledge, everything. Why can't we? No, I least bother about language. English is not our language. See, our English equally alien. Why should we bother? Why should we shy if I commit mistakes? So, if I commit any mistakes, whereas in yoga or pranayama, then only I should be thinking. But if I commit when I deliver my speech, if I commit a grammar mistake and all, I least bother. Why should I bother? So one should, beyond all languages, beyond Tamil, Kannada, Telugu and all, one has to convey through our body language, love language and heart language, postures. We know the thing. See, 9 emotions are there. See, these are the things one has to inculcate in our lifetime. If once you see Shadrasas under 9 emotions, very, very, very important. To always to be fit, to keep our good health means Shadrasas are very important. Shadrasas, what are the? Uli, Uppu, Kara, Sihi, Kahi, Vagaru. See, bitter, sweet, pungent, and then sour. These are the things. Generally, we people, every day we take sweet, every day we take a salt, every take a sour, every take are we taking pungent and bitter? See, because of due to imbalance of this food, we are getting physical problem. And then because of 9 emotions, we are not adding 9 emotions: Shingara, Hasya, Karuna, Raudra, Veera, Bhayanaka, Vibhatsa, Adbhuta, Shanta. These are the 9 emotions one has to develop. Generally, always instead of this one, among all 9 emotions, Hasya Rasa is laughter is one of the best emotion. Generally, we people always anger, Raudra Rasa, it is predominant in our life. That's why once we get anger, we are going to lose our energy level, and then we are going to lose our just energy, and the age span slowly deteriorates. So, how to cool down, how to calm down, is also very, very important. When the Robert Bruce, when he has inspired through that spider web, finally he took a decision. Why can't I? When small spider web, among all failures, despite of many times failures, he has constructed a beautiful web. So why can't I? Attempt once again? So then he has collected all armies, and then he has arranged, and then one fine day he fought against the Britishers, and then finally he won the fight. He won. See, this is an inspiration only for that. Spider web is an inspiration for him. Why can't we? Plenty of inspirations, plenty of moral stories to overcome our stress, and to overcome our health. Health is wealth, of course. We need a physical health. For example, without a body, see, Sharira Madhyam Khalu Dharma Sadhanam. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, whatever you wanted to achieve, we need good health, good physique, we need physical health. So, we should not neglect. Many of us friends, because of reading, they won't concentrate. They're not doing any indoor game, outdoor game. They won't go to the sun bath. They won't take the sun bath. We people, you take cold water bath. It increases your white blood cells. It increases your memory. It increases your health. See, these are the simple things. Number one, once you take cold water bath, if you get distress, immediately what you have to go? You go to the distance, you take a cold water bath, one bucket of cold water bath, certainly you will get energy. Once you get energy, you can improve your concentration. You can write, you can read. But whenever you, instead of going to alcohol, cigarette, or coffee, tea, these are addiction. One has to avoid all these addictions. Okay. And then, now, these are the 5 principles. That's 3-4 principles we have to adopt. Number one, See, we have to attend our duty. We have to ಅವತ್ತು ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನ we have to do our duty on that day itself. At any cost, we should not postpone. Why we are getting distress? Number one, generally we people go on postponing our work. Okay, let us attend tomorrow. Let us attend tomorrow. Let us attend our work tomorrow. Because of laziness, because of we go on postponing. For electric bill, we have to pay on the day itself. Okay, notes on the day itself you have to make. We have to go to the college, study well on the day itself. Why you are exam? Why you are getting examination fever? Because of postponing, because of laziness. Still there is a lot of time. Another 6 or 7 months examination. Why should I study here? No. Today itself we have to do our duty on that day itself, especially for students. Especially for your golden time, your parents are sending here to. They have spent lakhs and lakhs of rupees because they are how they are. Once if you introspected how they were my parents, how they are suffering, how they are feeding me. Am I coming here to enjoy my life or to attend my duty? We have each and every person we have to introspect ourselves. Number one, and then second one is why we are getting distress, tension, or stress. Because of we have to treat work as a game. Treat work as a game. For example, cricket players or kabaddi players, whatever. Of course, the kabaddi is in our national game. Kabaddi is our Indian game. So Indians are called as a yogis, land of yogis. Indians are like India's the yoga as here is in India. Maharishi Patanjali is a founder of yoga. Of course, yoga is comes from Adi Yogi Shiva, many rishis, and then finally it comes to the properly he has given 196 sutras. Maharishi Patanjali has narrated everything in his Sadhana Pada, Samadhi Pada, Vibhuti Pada, Kaivalya Pada. These are 4 chapters are there. Through this, each and every chapter only consists on mind, how to control our mind, how to control our mind, how to cool calm, how to cool calm, how to serene our mind. So, friends, now number one, we have to do our duty on that day itself. At any cost, we should not postpone. Number one, are we postponing our food? Are we postponing our sleeping habits? Are we postponing our nature calls? No, we are not supposed to. We don't postpone. When we don't postpone all these things, why we are postponing our this study? Why we are postponing our habits? No, we should not. No question. Tomorrow. No, we should not say tomorrow. We have to do our duty on that day itself. For example, elderly persons. Okay, washing the clothes. Okay, today you have to wash it. Don't wait for tomorrow. Many of them they are gone pending the work, whatever that either work or the studies, whatever it is. We people go on postponing. Once we postpone work, distress level increases. Oh, tomorrow I had to go there, I had to attend. I did not wash my clothes. I did not study properly. I did not go to the college. So all work is slowly it increases. Once the stress level increases, it leads to blood pressure, it leads to asthma, it leads to a heart problem, it leads to another side effects. So why we are going to give chance to such this one? We have to be careful, alert, and then we have to do our duty. Once if you alert your duty means attend your duty means our stress level will come down. Second one, treat work as a game. Whatever the work, for example, students, don't treat it as a work. It's not a work. Your study is not a work. Treat like a game. How whole day down to dusk, for example, how the cricket players, how they were playing, whole day, how they are enjoying, they are enjoying. Oh, fine, this how they go to body language and all, physically, mentally, how they are alert. See, are they going to treat? Oh, is it a play? Is it a game? Is it a work? How should I work? Are they think negatively? No. Always be positive. Treat work as a game. For example, while you are playing, how you are enjoying, how we are enjoying, either indoor game, outdoor game, how we are enjoying, like that. See, for example, people now today onwards, you mentally you prepare yourself. Why I'm studying? This is not a work. This is not a task. It's not a work. This is a game. Work is like a game. For example, I am teaching. Of course, since 40 years I have been in this field, yoga field. Of course, I was a fanatic Kannadiga. Oh, fine. Slowly, I'm improving my English. Because of my background, I'm very less. Even so far, more than 10 lakhs have trained many around the world. I least bother. Language is not important criteria. How we are going to say? See, many of us, even many students, even I had that feeling. Oh, I was not knowing. I don't know English because I'm coming from the rural area. I don't know how to speak, how to speak. How am I going to manage? No, because of optimistic. One should be always optimistic. Okay. Recently, I went to America, London, and all with this English, butter English. I was able to convey the things. I was able to just explain in my own English. No problem. I'm not English professor. I'm not English professor. Why should we? Many students they have a feeling. Oh, this one inferiority complex. Forget inferiority complex. Always be either inferiority complex or in superiority. Both are dangerous. Why? I know yoga. I am able to teach yoga. That's all. Oh, I'm not English professor. That to 97, 90% English professor. That to commit a mistake. That to commit a grammatical mistake. Why should he bother? I'm not an English professor. I'm not English. I'm not teaching English. You people, there was a beautiful incident, a German incident. I would like to give one inspiration story for you. Incident, that's not a story. See, even Germans, many countries, many of them, many European countries, they don't know English. Of course, German, Japan, and they are not proper. They don't know how to speak proper English. There is a person who was invented one engine or something, one machine. So he went to the England. They called them to explain about that the machine. So all of the he went to the German fellow. He went to the US, and then in the press conference they were attended. They were arranging a press conference to explain how he has invented that machine, how to invent it. So when he was explaining, one of them they were asking, when did you come to England? That was a question for him. But he doesn't know English. He was not knowing English. He was in his own language, Germany, and then he wanted to explain it to in English how he was using. Yeah, fortunately, Indians are speaking good English actually because we know from British they have ruled our country. Many even rural area, even farmer can police station, railway station, post office, all many words without our language they are able to speak. And then he wanted to explain that when did you come? He was asking. So that German fellow, his name was John. He was explaining. With body language, one can convey the knowledge through the body language. I from Germany flight here. He was not knowing. Day first day came. He wanted to tell day first day. He was not knowing that word. Yes, day first day. I here yesterday I came. See, yeah, they understood. They came. They were not bothered about the language. They were bothered about how he has invented intelligence and knowledge is very important. It gives importance. So we people, we are inferior about us. No, we don't know English. All of them, they are professor. They are English students. See, IAS student, IAS parents' son. He has become IAS or a doctor's son has become a. It's not it's a big issue. But those who are farmers, those who are illiterate, those who are coming from rural area, many of you are coming from rural area. Many of us we are coming from rural area. We have achieved a lot. Really, you should be appreciate. Should be appreciate. Should be, you yourself appreciate yourself. You should not be a fanatic. And then these are the main reason. And then from today onwards, your reading itself, it is like a game. Oh, I am playing. How I am playing? I am reading. Okay, driving itself like a play, like a game. Okay, preparation food, that is a game. Walking, it's like a game. You treat. Number one, we have to attend our duty on that day itself to overcome your distress. Second one, treat work as a game. Third one is we have to abide by the rules and regulations. Rule is rule even for a fool. Many of us, especially I'm pity about the students, many of those who are rule breakers. So wearing helmet, is it not our duty? Is it not our duty to safeguard our head? Many of us, because of sake of police, we are holding our helmet on our hand and then we are riding. If policeman just make a visual and then immediately we get upset and we get stress level, it increases. Why? To sake of someone, are we following the rules? No. We have to if you follow the rules and regulation, indirectly and directly, it gives to the respect to the your parents and your God, your person. See, these are the inspiration. So all of us, we are pessimistic. We have to follow the rules and regulations. And then, for example, by time management and punctuality is very, very important. If you give respect to the time we will give respect to you, friends. See, by 8 o'clock college means by 7:45 or 10 minutes early, you be there. Why don't you? Many of us, okay, by stroke 8 o'clock class, that means 5 minutes early you go. You go, no distress, no tension, no hurry, no worry. Or 5 minutes early you leave your room, you leave your house. 5 minutes early you go and study, you attend the class coolly. But mind is here, but my physical body, many of us here, mind is go on like a diabolic, will go on deviating somewhere like a vagabond. No, we should be physically, mentally, we should be here. And then we have to follow some spiritual things, meditation, bhajans, all these things are very, very important to creativity, to drama, song, playing, whatever it is, especially JC, engineering, your college is where you are lucky. You're lucky because you are having such a good faculty in your college. Beautiful, one of the predominant college in Mysore area. It was excellent. You are too lucky. You are very proud. Oh, I am studying in Mysore. Yes, with that to JC college. You are lucky. You study well. And then, why these are the inspiration for us, friends? There was a story, beautiful story. This is also for inspiration for me. When Vivekananda was a child, his name was Narendra. So after he has become, yes, Viveka Viveka, he has attained the Vijnana, then I have got Vivekananda. When Narendra, when he was going near Kashi, there was a monkey chasing him. When monkey was chasing, because of a lot of fear, because of years of fright, so he was gone just running. When he was going running, the monkey was also chasing him a lot. Then there was a passerby, was observing this incident. Passerby says, "No, please, Narendra, don't move, don't run." Monkey he thought that a monkey is chasing me. Why this fellow is again? Immediately, the passerby just instructed him with a louder voice, with the clap, "Please, Vivekananda, stop." As soon as he, with loudly, the passerby instructed the Vivekananda, "Please stop." Immediately, Vivekananda stopped. When Vivekananda stopped, the monkey also immediately it has stopped. Then when monkey has stopped, the passerby instructed the Vivekananda, "Please turn back, turn back." Immediately Vivekananda turned back. The monkey also turned back. "Come on, Vivekananda, come on, please run, chase the monkey." The Vivekananda was chasing the monkey. Monkey has ran away. Friends, just I would like to ask you this question, one question. Out of the story, of course, it's not a story, incident in Vivekananda's incident. It is impact on me also. So, out of the story, what we are going to learn this story, out of the story? How long can we are like a cowards. We are like a cowards. How long can we show our back? Like a cowards, fear. Once you face the consequences, once you dare, once if you have courage, automatically you will get strength. Once we get courage, automatically all problems will get solved. How long can you run to show your back, and how long you're going to run like a cowards? See, Buddha, it was an excellent story. Not only for, of course, not even Buddhas, many jnanis, Basava, Buddha, Kalama, Akamahadevi, many jnanis, Tulsidas, Mahavir, yes, whatever it may be. Many of them, they are undergone all these experiences. Once Buddha, you know the story of Buddha, when he was young, of course, when Buddha got married, Buddha had a small child, Buddha had a beautiful wife. So, despite all, he came to know, you realize, why? What is this incarnation? What is his incarnation? What after the breath, where we go? What is God? So are the questions, each and every moment he was born interested in himself. One midnight, Buddha, Jagavella Malagiralo on Abbanedda. Yada means with alarm he got up. No, he got realized. Where we are going? Are we in the proper path? Are we in the only eating, sleeping, earning money? Is it our duty? For that, what's the purpose? Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani, jatare shenam. Okay, again coming to this birth, again to take birth, rebirth. Is it our duty? What's the purpose? So then he fit the place, he fit the palace. The Buddha, one midnight, he fit the palace, went off to the jungle, to penance, to meditate. When he was meditating, months together he was in the jungle. There was no use, no realization to take place. So then he thought, why should I come here? Why I am going to waste my time? Then immediately he got no use for wasting my time. I have left my wife, I left my palace, I left my everything, bungalow, everything, all my luxuries. I have left everything. Simply I came here, I was sitting, no use, no realization. When he was, it's a story for us. Whatever your intention, what is the purpose we are coming here to Asia students? Until you finish your B, until you are set the goal, until your see goal is very, you set up your goal, time management, goal setting is very important. Your goal is to study properly, and then many ways are there to study, to improve your, enhance your knowledge, to improve your knowledge. The willpower, develop. I can. William Osler, I told you on that day, that is great England, William Osler. Even the final day of MBBS examination, my mind was gone oscillating. Oh, is it I'm going to pass or not? Whether I am going to take examination or not? Whether I'm all this diabolic, fine. Despite all, he took a decision in his firm mind. He passed, and now he was one of the famous Dr. William Osler. See, why can't we? Then Buddha, when he was meditating, at first he quit the place, he was ready to go to the palace, back to pavilion, Buddha. So when he was going in between, when he was going, he had a lot of thirst. So then he went to the one big lake was there. In that big lake, he wanted to drink water. When he was ready to drink water, there was a like a big lizard. It's called Uda. Uda means there's a like a Uda. Have you heard about Uda? A big lizard. It is like a big lizard. So that Uda, that the big lizard, is gone jumping from lake to outside, and then spread his body. And 1 or 2 drops of water, it was going out, and then again he was jumping. That lizard that was jumping to the lake, and it was gone doing like this. Buddha, instead of drinking water, Buddha simply was gone observing. What is this animal is doing? Oh, it was jumping to the out of the lake, and then he spreading his body, and 1 or 2 drops of water is going out, and then again he came to the water, he go on. And Buddha simply whole day after his observation, I have been observing what this lizard is doing, and then asked, I have been observing, what are you doing? The Buddha was asking, what the lizard? The lizard answered, I am. This is a positive thought. This is the one should be always be positive and inspiration, willpower, develop all this. The small lizard, the big acres of land, acres of this one lake. That too, I'm going to remove this water from the lake to outside. Even if you put 10 to 15 of 10 HP motors, we can't remove the water. Small lizard, how its capacity, how its willpower, asked, and asked, are you not fool? The Buddha asked the lizard, are you not fool? See, you're going to tell to remove the water. Is it possible to remove the water? Are you not fool? Immediately the lizard replied, certainly I am going to, until my last breath, I am putting my effort, I am going to remove this all water. Yes, the lizard answered. Immediately he got upset. Are you not fool? Are you not fool? The lizard replied, certainly I am going to. See, impossible is a word, because when Buddha, I am not a coward like a Buddha. Buddha went to the jungle to quit his palace and went to the jungle because of have not achieved anything. It's impossible to achieve anything. That's why he himself has decided, and he was going to palace to like off the portion in between to leave the work. I'm not go like a Buddha. I certainly I am going to win. Then immediately the Buddha got realized, small lizard it has inspired him. After drinking water, again the Buddha went to the forest, jungle, and then through the penance, yes, realized Bodhi Ruksha, under the Bodhi Ruksha, he got realized. See, this is an inspiration story for us. Why can't we? Okay, one subject fail, no problem. No, nothing to do. Don't, because a new subject sometimes English you may face the consequences, because those who are studying Kannada medium immediately come to the college, you may facing problem. Of course, we do. Okay, these are small issues. One has to dedicate, sacrifice, dedication. These are the things one can achieve the goal. So, friends, these are the now. Before that, just I would like to. Now let us discuss about the ailment. For example, blood pressure, diabetic, and asthma, obesity. Now, how to overcome? See, health is wealth. If you physically if you're fit, now as much as possible, every day, avoid Coca-Cola, Fanta, all these worst thing. Now, sprouts, vegetables, you drink more water, at least 2 to 3 liters of water every day you have to consume, you have to drink water. And then sprouts, vegetables and all. Why before you take, Charaka is very, very important. Generally, we don't have patience. Especially for students, one has to develop our patience. If you don't have patience, you will become a patient. See, you decide either you wanted to become a patient or to improve your patience. Immediately we are going to react to things. For example, someone says donkey means, immediately we don't know how to proact. Immediately we react. Your donkey, your father said donkey, your mother said donkey. Immediately go on reacting. Once we reacting things, just your distress level it increases. There was a story once there was a we should not react. Once one of his disciple went to Guru and see all my relatives, all my friends, they have cheated me. So because of, why you are getting angry, why you are getting distressed, because of a lot many things they have cheated me like anything. That's why if I remember that, I'm getting distress increases. So immediately the Guru suggested him, his disciple, why don't you go to you bring them, those who are not, those who have cheated you, why don't you bring them? I will suggest, I will guide them, I will help you. No, Guruji, already they have died, already nobody is there. Those who have cheated me, they have already died. You do one thing, go night, whole night you go there, and then with the big mic, and then you go on scolding them whole night in the Samadhi graveyard. Go and scold. We go, and then he came. When you are scolding, were they talking? Were they interacting anything? Were they? No. Kept quiet. Okay. So you told me many of them they have helped. Many of your friends or your relatives they have helped. Okay, fine. You call them. They also died. Okay. Even the same graveyard, if those who are helped you, the whole night you are casual. You appreciate. You cajole them. You are great man. You are helping me like that. See, when you are cajoling, when you are appreciating, when you are scolding, what is the mind level chemical? How the chemical reaction it takes place? You observe. Even though when you are scolding them, even though when you are appreciating them, no reaction from them from the graveyard. No reaction from the graveyard. Like that, one should be in our lifetime. One should not at any cost should not react immediately. Proact, convenience. As soon as he comes down, as soon as he calms down, you have to proact. Oh, this is not a way. Like this, you should talk. Like these are the things. See, one should always act. See. What is the secret? Before that, I would like to end this session. It is a beautiful example. What is the secret of success? Someone has, for example, Vijay and Sujan, or someone, some Girish Kauda, many of them, they have achieved some level. They have reached some goal. What's the What is the reason? What is the secret? Come on. We people, of course, we have a lot of energy. We have a lot of potential energy. For example, what is the difference between potential energy and kinetic energy? We know. We have a great, but for example, I'd like to just explain. In the scooter, a lot of the petrol are there. Petrol inside, petrol. God has given a lot of potential energy within us. ಸಿ ಎದ್ದೇಳು ಮಾನವ ನೀನು ದುರ್ಬಲನ್ನಲ್ಲ, ನಿನ್ನ ದೇಹವೊಂದು ಜಗನ್ಮಾತೆಯ ದೇಗುಲ, ನಿನ್ನ ಮುಂದೆ ಪ್ರಕೃತಿಯೊಂದು ಶಿಶು, ಎದ್ದೇಳು ಗುರಿ ಮುಟ್ಟುವುದಿರಿದ್ರು. ಕಮಾನ್, ರೈಸ್, awake, stop not till the goal is reached. Yes, last class I explained. You have a lot of capacity. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yatkripatamah vande paramananda madamam. Even dumb can speak. Even dumb, the dove can climb the hill. Why can't you? We have a lot of potential within us. Kinetic energy is already stored energy. We have you people, all of you, in one or other aspect, one or other way, you have a lot of inspiration. If one door closes means again 9 doors opens. But we have to patiently, we have to see. Failure is not important criteria. Okay, let it be. Again, you have to learn, put your efforts. Examination pass is not important criteria. How to reach your goal? There was a survey. Those who have studied, those who have degree students, those who have their double degree, those who have PhD, those who have studied a lot, in their family life, they have failed. But do you think what is the fun of that education? We don't know how to tackle simple situation. We don't know. For example, someone scolded me immediately. How do I have a lot of patience? See, 24 hours one should lead our happiest life means. Now we people, unfortunately, money comes and goes. We give more importance to the money. No, some certain extent we have to give respect. See, how we are going to lead 24 hours happily and ananda. What is the difference between happy and ananda? Happiness is temporary. This one, temporary. For example, as soon as you got result, as soon as you got first rank, okay, fine. What is the fun of first rank? To earn money, to earn name, same. Okay, you earn the knowledge. Knowledge is very important instead than the others. So, okay, now, as soon as you purchase new car, oh, you'll be more happy. Okay, afterwards of some days, that happiness slowly, it will deteriorate. Is it permanent? Or as soon as you got appointment, okay, you will get happiness. Okay, after slowly it will deteriorate. Okay, after your marriage, okay, you will get happiness. After slowly it will deteriorate. Is it permanent? You introspect. So then, these are the temporary happiness. For example, first you have to accept the situation as it is. If you overcome. For the example, I would like to give one example. When if I go to near Vidhan Sauda or somewhere bus stand, I lost my thumb. Immediately, what should I do? First, we have to, my leg, my hand should not be broken. It has broken. Broken is broken. Over is over. Okay, means split, over. We should not, meals should not be split. My hand should not be like, I should not marry this girl. I should not marry that boy. I should not come here. All these, no. See, first you have to accept. Now, as it is, once we accept the situation as it is, you will get courage. Once if you get courage, all your distress will disappear, and then you will get courage. You will be a new man, and then you always, I can. Certainly you can, friends. And then physically, before that, I would like to end this. First, you have to keep good health, meditation, pranayama. Now, before that, I would like to teach one pranayama to how overcome this one stress. And inhale, just slowly, just few seconds, and then inhale, exhale. These are the two pranayamas, and then slowly, these are the pressure points, and then just tap slowly. 5 pressure points are here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then clap properly. Laugh. I don't know. In the class, in the interactive session, I'll make you laugh, and then I don't know whether you are watching, whether they are participating, I don't know. Even though I know you are participating, secret of success is whatever you do. For example, drainage is here. There will be a drainage. You are in the end of the drainage. So you want to jump. If you jump 50%, what will be the consequence? You have to again drainage. You will be in the drainage. If you jump 90%, again you will be down in the drainage. See, if you wanted to just this one, either you should be in the 0 or in the 100%, either this side nor that side. Om Punamada Punamidam Punat Punamudachate Punasya Punamadaya Punameva Vashishate. This is the secret of success. Whatever you do, to involve 100%. Whatever if you want to cry 100%. If you want to laugh 100%. Whatever you do, you want to participate 100%. This is the secret of success, and then we can overcome your stress level and this level. Okay, to have these few words, I would like to end up this session. Thank you, friends. Thank you, college. It's a reputed college. I'm more proud. If I commit any English, I am an English professor. Sorry, if I commit any mistakes, grammatic mistakes, and all, forgive me. If you have any doubts and clarification, either in Kannada or English, no problem. Thank you. I would like to end up this session with this word.
Thanks a lot, Guruji.
Thank you.
So it's our mistake. We had not conveyed you long back that the sessions would be better in English. But you have really managed well, Guruji. The energy behind your talk was very high.
Whatever had happened for good. Okay, nothing.
Yeah. So the energy level was so high. So the language was not barrier at all. Thanks a lot, Guruji.
Thank you.
We have few questions. So which also means to say that students who are watching.
Oh, fine. More. I'm always optimistic. I'm very sure about my friend.
Yeah.
They are.
So the
very
question
good.
goes like this: a startup entrepreneur
Entrepreneur, yes.
of age 32 died this week due to cardiac arrest. We feel that everyone has stress in their lives and somehow we ignore it. Sir, how to identify the stress level in a person's life and how can we counsel them?
How can we counsel them?
Yeah.
Okay. See, diabetic, BP, diabetic heart problem, diabetic is not at all a disease. It is only disorder. It's absolutely only a disorder. If once you cool down, calm down, meditate, and then introspect yourself, and then sattvic food. See, in our lifetime, if you live 100 years, small heart attacks takes place. 360 times heart attack takes place. For example, many of them. For example, our ex-prime minister, he put 9 stunts. Despite all, is healthy, is happy, is leading his life. See, these are the, of course, because of physical problem, because of sedentary habits, because not proper blood circulation, it occurs. Okay, sometimes, but we should not give more. But we change our food habit. Food habit is very, very important. For example, if you eat, very simple technique, I would like to just suggest. If you prepare food through the pot, if you avoid cooker, if you prepare only medicine, and then oil per day, only 1 spoon of oil we have to consume. But unfortunately, see, we don't know how many grams we are going to eat. We don't know. 1,000 to 1,000, for example, we people, general healthy people, 1,000 to 1,000 grams of food we have to eat. For example, 2 chapatis or 1 chapati. As much as in chapati, lot of gluten is there. Gluten. So avoid chapati. Instead of chapati, this one, our ghee, honey, and then gooseberry, and then this one, snake gourd juice. And then every day, those who are having heart attack, heart problem, 3 garlic every day, 18 days, at least they have to practice this. After let them check up. 3 garlic, 3 betel leaves, and then ginger, a little bit of ginger, and a little bit of 1 spoon honey every day with empty stomach. Early morning, let them eat. Automatically, cholesterol level, triglyceride level will come down. Good cholesterol, it increases certainly, and then least bother. And then they should not worry, and then they should not go on explain to everyone. No, I have a heart problem. I have this one. They should not tell, and then cool it. If they practice simple pranayama, for example, Nadi Shodhana, and Bhujangasana to the last simple posture. Of course, next class, next onwards, I will give you some the link. Every day in our Avasham, more than 120 centers are there in our this one organization, Patanjali Yoga Ashram Trust. They are conducting plenty. So far, more than 10 lakh students I have trained. In Bangalore, Mysore, plenty of centers are there. I will give link in the online stuff. They can attend. They can ask questions through my phone number. You can share my phone number. According to the ailment, I will take. No.
Yeah.
Let them eat more sprouts and vegetables.
Okay. You said the ginger, garlic, and honey, right, sir?
Ginger and then garlic, 3 garlic. More than 18 days, you're not supposed to. After 18 days, let them put up. And if cholesterol level comes down, immediately yes, they have that's the raw early morning raw ginger, little bit ginger, and then gooseberry. Gooseberry is also very, very important. As soon as they eat, let them use gooseberry, and then white pumpkin juice, and then snake heart juice. Snake heart juice is like how they clean this one, the plumbing, push the water properly. The snake heart is a lot, and then let them walk properly. Walking is mandatory. And then at least 1 hour, let them sit in the sun bath. Let them take the sun bath.
Okay, sir.
Laugh is enough. And then, moreover, those who are having cold cholesterol, Madhyama Pranayama. And then, before ending the session, 2 minutes, I will just explain about meditation. Okay, if you have any questions, please ask.
So that is to address the cardiac issues, but how to identify the stress level in person?
See, if you go on asking question, immediately we get upset for that. Immediately you will react. He doesn't have patience. Immediately you assess, he doesn't have patience means his stress level is increasing. So we have to edit, and then immediately you will get sweat. You will get sweat immediately. Okay. Especially while they are eating, they are getting a lot of sweat. Once they get sweat means a lot of toxins will be there. So and then they need counseling 1 or 2 times, and then they should change food habit, and automatically it will come down. It is not this one big issue, but food habit, if they change lifestyle and food habit, automatically it comes down. But one can easily assess. Reacting with louder voice. See, decibel is also, if someone 3-4 members speaks, low voice. If someone like that is decibel also very, very important. And if they practice meditation and food habit, 100% they are going to just get rid of all these problems.
Surely, sir. Next question is, whenever we learn new things, we feel difficult to learn, and mind changes, and we don't feel like learning further. How to overcome this sort of thoughts in mind?
For example, can you give me an example? For example,
sir, just question consider.
Yoga, for example, particular one example. Can you? For example, I have to learn yoga. Beginning itself, some hurdles are there. My body is not bending properly, or while I change the food habit, new setup program, or any. We have to face all this, but one should be always cool, calm, and put our efforts automatically. Can you give me one example for that? For example.
We don't know, sir, because they have posted in the group. We can take the example of learning new subjects.
Yes. Any new subject, for example, this subject I have. Immediately, but in the particular book or particular chapter, we should not give more importance to those who are difficult subject. Only in that easy chapter will be there. Easy things will be there. First, you have to attempt. For example, I would like to give one beautiful example. There was a teacher who was teaching in mathematics when he was taking classes in the mathematics, but in SLC there was a student, more than 10 attempts he has failed. Just I would like a beautiful relevant example. 10 times. Then before the teachers, when they were taking classes, oh, you're a idiot, you're a fool, you're not a brilliant, you're a fool, like that, you're a padda, like all these negative words you are in a subconscious level, it has recorded. So whatever the teacher, actually before the teacher, they were teaching beautifully. Separately also, they were taking special classes also. Despite all, he has failed 10 times. One more teacher like you, your good name, sir, your name? Your name?
Chandresh, sir.
Sir, I would like
Chandresh.
to. Huh?
Chandresh.
Chandresh, like you, such a brilliant professor like you. Yes, after the class, he has transferred that all just transferred. We knew the professor had come, and then immediately, as soon as he come to the class, hello friends, how are you? Fine, are you brilliant? He was interacting with the friends. All of them, they were telling, yes, all of them were brilliant, except one guy, those who was failing. So immediately he got upset. Oh, because since 10 years I have been studying here, because I am weak in the mathematics, I am failing. I am going on failing the mathematics. Immediately, he put one small SS student. He put one in the board. He has put one mathematics. So yes, correctly, yes, neatly, yes, answered. Another like many questions he was asking, one many answered. Even small 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. This small question, even anybody can answer this question. 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 plus 2 is small questions, because it is mind level. It is optimistic. It's it has gone. And after that class, he has not taken any special class for him. Yeah, on that class, he has passed first class. First class, he has passed, because another teacher, they were teaching negatively. This teacher, he was like that. 1 year when we studying, always if we positively, we just we study, ultimately we can success. Easy subject we have to select. Mind mapping is important. Easy chapters, easy subject we have to select. Afterwards, slowly, our most level will increase.
Sure, sir.
And winning vacancies.
Thanks a lot, Guruji. These were the questions. And now we declare that the first session of second day in the second week is concluding by this. On behalf of the coordinating committee, SJCE, JSS Science and Technology University, let us all join in thanking Shri Prakash Yogi Guruji. Guruji, thanks a lot. Kindly be associated with us, and in future also kindly please extend your knowledge and blessings. We learnt a lot with some of the physical techniques of the pressure points, and so that can relieve the stress. A lot of practical, simple tactics and ideas you have shared. It was useful for we teachers also. Thanks a lot, Guruji.
Let them laugh properly, and then some simple like meditation I did not take. Generally many professors, many years, they don't laugh, they suppress their feelings. Laugh, let them all day, especially those who are especially like you, computer always, you know, computer always like they'll be panic. Laugh. Let them laugh. They have to overcome from maybe shyness and all. Automatically, stress level, it is suddenly will come down. No problem.
Teachers who are sitting in front of me are laughing now, sir. So we will adopt this good habit.
Online program, it's a very difficult task for it. It's a very punishment. If a lively program is, I was coming there many years. I was coming there because let them enjoy, let them. No, it's like some board in front of board. I don't know whether. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Let them laugh. Meditation is also very important. Meditation. Meditation level, I will send a link and link. Let them practice.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Share that. Thanks a lot, sir.
If I commit any mistakes, please you forgive me. If any like grammar and all.
Sir, no, sir. Nothing like that.
I was in Kannadiga. No problem. English not my subject. No problem. Thank you.
We were really happy, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Okay, dear students, now take a break for 15 minutes and join back by 11:45 for the second session. Thank you all. Thank you.
ಏನಿದೆ ಟೀ ಮುಗಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ.
Don't worry about that. I just had green tea and came from department.
Super.
Good morning all of you. I am Dr. Kumar Swami from the Department of Chemistry. I am one of the chief coordinators of this program. I would like to welcome all of you for the second session of 8th day's induction program. As we all know, nutrition is one of the vital aspects of human health, and taking right food at right time is a very important issue which can determine the health of our body. And we should know what we have to eat and what we shouldn't eat. And this session is all about food and nutrition. The speaker of this session is Dr. Asna Uruj. Dr. Asna Uruj is a professor and chairperson of Department of Studies in Food Science and Nutrition at Manasa Gangotri, University of Mysore. Dr. Asna Uruj is a well-known academician and researcher in the area of food science and nutrition. She got her master's degree in food science and nutrition, and then she got her PhD in the same area. She has been actively involved in teaching postgraduate and doctoral students at the University of Mysore for the last 30 years or so. Dr. Asna Uruj is an active researcher in the area of natural antioxidants, foods for diabetics, medicinal plants, and functional foods. She has published over 200 research articles in the journals of national and international repute. Her research is highly cited by the scientific fraternity all over the world. She has over 4,500 citations with a very impressive H index of 32 and I-10 index of 79. Madam has successfully guided 19 PhD students for their PhD degree, and also has guided over 80 postgraduate students for their dissertation projects. She has about 15 government funded research projects, and she has successfully completed them. She has worked as a member of several international research bodies in various capacities, such as reviewer, editorial board member, and associate editor of reputed international journals. Dr. Asna Uruj has received many awards for her research contributions and also for her contributions in the academics. Some of the awards are Dr. Kalpana Chawla Award for Young Women Scientist and Young Scientist Award, Professor B.S. Baines Lifetime Achievement Award, Dr. Rajamal P. Devadas Memorial Award, and also prestigious UGC BSR Mid-Career Award. It is a privilege to have Madam with us today. On behalf of the organizing committee, the management, and on my personal behalf, I would request Dr. Munira Begum, the chief coordinator of this function, to welcome Dr. Asna Uruj to this session.
Thank you so much.
Welcome, madam.
Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you. Thank you, madam. Now I request Dr. Asna Uruj to take over the dais for valuable inputs. Over to you, madam. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I am indeed grateful for the management of this, the team of the management committee organizing this induction program for this batch, for having considered me to address the students. Addressing the students is one of the you know, pet project of any teacher, and that too if they are freshers. We would like to, you know, put you on the road and give you guidance in all walks of other than your profession. It should be a proper guidance. So I think that is the whole idea of this induction program. So first of all, we are neighbors. As you all know, both the gates of our campuses are facing each other. So we have lived in harmony in this campus for several years, and we hope that this continues. There have been interactions between our university and this institute, and definitely SJC is a esteemed institute and one of the few engineering colleges which have made a mark and which are remembered, and they are quite prestigious. So first of all, I congratulate all the students for having entered this prestigious institute of higher education. So make the most of your stay. We are really sorry that we cannot see you in person. That would have been wonderful, but nevertheless we have virtual platform which is connecting us. So yeah, let's make the best use of this. So to begin with, you all are aware Mysore University is in existence since more than 100 years. So greetings from our university. And why this induction program? I was informed that they are organizing a week-long induction program, and I think that's a very good initiative by any institute, and it shows that they are committed and they want to put the students, the young minds in a proper frame of mind. So why is this induction necessary? Just 2 minutes we will spend on this, and I'm sure you have been talked on this. See, you are all admitted to various courses in engineering, right? So you all, in addition to being oriented towards the various engineering aspects, you also should be inducted along with your subject knowledge for all-round development, then to sensitize and so that you explore your academic interest, to improve your professional behavior. This is very important. Not just being intelligent in your subject, being an achiever in the subject is not sufficient. We need to be focusing on all-round development, and we need to behave maturely. So we have to improve our professional behavior. We must promote bonding. We should know how to interact, and it is important that we must be emotionally stable and promote bonding, work towards excellence, build relations with teachers and peers. This is very important. Like, you know, teacher-student relation is very important, and we need to interact. We should know how to interact and ultimately be a better person. That is the whole idea of the induction program. Why? You need to be physically active, because as you all know, a healthy mind and a healthy body, both ways they are reciprocal. This is very important. And besides your professional skills, like, you know, whichever aspect of engineering you have joined, whether it is mechanical or civil or architecture, whatever it is, all of us, we have a creative side in ourselves. So we need to explore that and improve that, so that a sense of aesthetics will also enhance our creativity in your particular profession. Then, not to forget human values. We need to explore ourselves, experience the joy of learning, and we should learn to stand up to peer pressure, not succumb. We have heard of many instances where children, especially in the late teens and early youth, they succumb to a lot of pressure, and they take some irrational decisions. So that is to avoid that. Take decisions with courage, be aware of relationships with family, friends, teachers, be sensitive to others, not to forget that. Then some of us are endowed with some literary skills also. So don't keep that, don't push it aside along with your engineering skills. Hone those skills also, because they are reciprocal. And proficiency is very important to overcome some critical lacunae that students might face, especially like if we come from some rural background, there might be some hesitancy. English is not the end of everything, okay? So, but we need it because it is internationally recognized language, and this is the language in which we can interact, communicate. So make the best use of this and familiarize with computers and all the IT aspects. Okay, so induction program aims to induce professional and social ethics among engineering brains. For students who come from diverse area, this program helps to introduce new techniques of education. There are lots of techniques introduced by Government of India like MOOC and SWAYAM, etc. So with that brief background about what I felt was necessary to share with you all about the induction program, I now move on to the topic for what I have been invited to address to you all. Importance of healthy eating. Okay. Now, you must be asking me, is there an unhealthy eating pattern also? Yes, definitely. We are seeing the impact of that, the consequences of unhealthy or leading an unhealthy lifestyle. Okay, let me go on with that. So this is how the flow of my 45 or one hour discussion with your lecture. So why is it important that we need to eat healthily? Because it's very important. Importance of healthy eating, we understand the importance, but above all, what you eat, when you eat matters, because God has given us a gastrointestinal tract, but that doesn't mean that this GI tract can be exploited 24/7. So there is a sense of hunger, appetite, satiety, which is again governed by the brain. There are lots of centers in the brain which control, invoke hunger, and then they tell us, put us stop, don't overeat. But sometimes we exceed that, we ignore those sensations, those signals coming from the brain, and we tend to overeat. So what you eat, when you eat matters. Why? To enjoy good health, to be able to focus on what you're doing, and not to forget to improve memory, and ultimately to stay healthy. So let's define food. Like, you must be wondering, what is this she's talking of? How can you define food? Food is something all of us know you have to eat. But if you look from the scientific viewpoint, it is an edible substance, isn't it? We don't eat anything which you can lay your hand on. It is an edible substance which could be in a solid or a liquid form. And when you consume, it meets the needs of our body. Like in terms of energy, we need energy for every cell, every tissue, every organ to work. Then to build the body right from fetal life to adult life, and then maintain it. Then everyday wear and tear, because our cells have to be replaced every 3 days, epithelial cells particularly, and there's a lot of wear and tear happening, and for that we need to provide the right input in terms of food substrate to regulate and protect because of the nutrients which are present in the food we eat. Now there are 3 dimensions to food. One is the physiological reason, like why you feel hungry. Then why? Because you need energy to sustain, to supply to the various cells and bodies of the body and the organs for them to work. So that's a physiological requirement. Then you have the social requirement also, isn't it? Like there are in our daily life we see that we don't eat the same kind of food, or the menu is not the same every day. Now every day at home it might be from morning till evening, for breakfast, lunch and dinner, it is different items, menu is different. So and then socially also, like on various festive days the menu is different, on some other days it is different, and then in parties and in weddings and etc. again the menu is different. So social need is also there. Then not to forget the psychological. Okay, sometimes we crave for chocolates, or we have a yearning for something, or you may not like something. So if you are depressed, or if you are in an off mood, you don't like to eat even if the best food is served to you. So there are these 3 dimensions where food is concerned and why we consume it. So trying to understand the importance of nutrition, the food you eat, it affects your health and quality of life. First of all, we should accept this. That is, I would say food becomes you. Like, this is a very simple sentence I'm saying. Food becomes you. Like, you are what you eat. It means that. Okay. So nutrition is the process by which your body takes in and uses the food, the nutrients which are present in the food. And what are nutrients? These are the various substances which are present in our body. I'll be dwelling upon it in the next slide. When we talk of nutrition, you can see that a whole lot of topics come to our mind, ranging from activity, calories, antioxidants, alternative medicine, choices, how to balance, micronutrients, absorption, digestion, rest, hydration, etc. So there is a whole plethora. It is not as simple as you put something on your plate and you eat it. Food and nutrition is much more to than it appears. So let's try and understand what is the proper definition of nutrition. It's a science of food, the nutrients and other substances. It is not a basic science. Nutrition is an applied science. Study of nutrition involves to understand the action of the nutrients, how they interact with each other, and the balance in relation to health and disease. So where to be in a proper state of health, what nourishment is needed, and when we have any disease condition, how the food has to be altered. Then nutrition is also the process by which organisms, including the human beings, how we consume food, digest, absorb, transport, utilize, and finally eliminate the unwanted material from our body. Now the other terminology which we should know is health. Like health, how do you define health? The WHO has given a proper definition. So that, what does it mean? It's a state of complete physical, mental and social well-being. That is, physically we have to be healthy. That is, you should not have any problems in movement. You must have a flexible body. You must be able to do physical activity. Then mentally also you should be healthy, isn't it? We should be able to discriminate and not be judgmental and arrive at assumptions or conclusions. So we must have a stable mind. Then socially also we must be healthy. You should know how to maintain relations with your family, with friends, with your in your close circle, whether it is a father, mother, husband, wife, brothers, friends, etc. So it is, health is not merely the absence of a disease or infirmity. So just because we don't have a disease, I cannot proclaim that I am healthy. I must be physically healthy, I must be mentally and socially healthy. Now the fourth dimension is spiritual health also is included. That is the fourth dimension included in the definition of health. Okay. So what are nutrients? Just as I said earlier, these are the chemicals which are present in the food, like carbohydrates, proteins, vitamins, minerals, lipids, etc. And there are also some substances which are also present incidentally or accidentally along with the nutrients in the food. They are not nutrients. They may include some non-essential nutrients or additives, like we add certain things in the preparation, food additives, or some toxicants, like that could be because of improper handling of food, or contaminants can also be present. Then overall we have today information that about 46 odd nutrients are essential for human beings. Okay, you can see here in the figure this side, like there are about 6 essential nutrients. To commence with, fats, minerals, water is also included. You will realize the importance of water because it is nothing, it is an elixir of life. Then we have carbohydrates, proteins and vitamins. Now to make it much simpler for you all, we can classify all these 46 odd nutrients into major nutrients and minor nutrients. Major nutrients are carbohydrate, protein and fat. Every gram of carbohydrates and protein when consumed give us about 4 kilocalories of energy when they are metabolized, whereas you see lipids give almost double the amount of energy compared to carbs and proteins. So that is why we say eat less of oily food, or lipids and oils should be minimum in our daily consumption. The rest are the minor nutrients because they are needed in very small quantities, maybe in milligram or microgram quantities. Those are the several vitamins which are water soluble and fat soluble. Then minerals. Okay, so there are many minerals which are needed, including calcium, iron, potassium, sodium, etc. And not to forget water, which is the elixir of life, because all of the biochemical processes happen in an aquatic media in our body. So this table briefly gives you an idea about these nutrients which I mentioned of. Carbohydrates, what is the major function of these? They provide us energy and they are protein sparing, and the main sources in our Indian diet are all the cereals, like including rice, wheat, etc. Then pulses, all the dals and the legumes. Then some starchy vegetables also give us carbohydrates, and some fruits like mango and banana, which are fleshy fruits, also give us some amount of carbohydrate. Coming to the second category of nutrients, the proteins. They are essential because they support growth, for the repair, as I was mentioning, the wear and tear of the cells and the tissues. They also provide us energy, but the reason I mentioned protein sparing is when there is adequate amount of carbohydrate, proteins are not burnt for energy purpose, or they are not utilized for energy purpose. And all the enzymes in our body are protein material, they are made of proteins. So that is the another major function of proteins. They are utilized in the synthesis of enzymes, antibodies which give us immunity. Then some of the hormones are also protein in nature. Now from what sources do we derive them? From pulses, that is all the dals and the legumes. Then of course the meat, the fish, the milk products, milk and milk products, egg and cereals also give, but compared to the earlier one which I have listed earlier, the protein content of cereals is much lesser compared to pulses, meat and other protein rich foods. Then fat or lipid or fat, both way we mention, they provide us energy. Every gram when it is metabolized gives us about 9 kilocalories of energy, and they are also sources of essential fatty acids and sources of fat soluble vitamins like vitamin A, D, E and K. And they also, fat in our body provides insulation, that is, it insulates, it protects. There is a layer of fat around our vital organs, and that is for insulation. Then it also protects us, keeps us warm too. The food sources are, of course, all the fats and oils like ghee and edible oils, everything. Then meat and fish also provide, but there are different types of fat, saturated and unsaturated fat. Then the nuts, the groundnut or the cashew nut, the walnut also have different types of fatty acids. And the dairy products, everything made out of milk, like the yogurt, the curd or the ghee, the butter, cheese, everything, they are also good sources of lipids or fat. Minerals are needed for growth of the skeleton, overall growth. Then they are involved in the blood clotting mechanism, they confer immunity. Vitamins are necessary for vision, that is vitamin A is very important for vision, immunity, then development of the bone, maintenance of the bone, teeth, and also in the overall metabolism, because most of the vitamins function as coenzymes. So we derive minerals and vitamins from dairy products, green leafy vegetables, fruits, whole grains, meat, vegetables, legumes, organ meat like liver, brain, etc., and also from nuts. So let's dwell upon for a minute and try and understand why water is also important, though it does not provide us any energy, but it is the medium in which all the processes of the life, that is the biochemical processes, the metabolism, digestion, absorption, everything takes place. And also you should be aware that almost 55% or at least 50% of the composition of blood is aquatic media. Okay, so there is at least 45 to 50% of water present in our blood. And benefits of staying hydrated, like it is necessary for fluid balance. You will realize, like in summer months, when you don't keep yourself hydrated, you feel so dehydrated and fatigued, and sometimes it could be even fatal. And we need it's a fuel for the muscle, for all the mechanisms of the biochemical mechanisms to take place. Then it helps us give a good skin. Then it boosts our productivity. Then it eliminates the toxins. And even for lubrication, it boosts the brain. And it can, if you drink more water, you can even modulate your food intake. Then it's a normalizer of blood and fatigue buster. When you're tired, we don't reach out to anything else. It is water we want to drink. And drink at least, minimum is 1.5 and maximum there's nothing. None of us drink about 3 liters or 4 liters, but at least you try and drink 2 liters of water. This is besides the coffee, tea or other beverages. This is just plain water I'm talking of. And please avoid, that's why I have put there, it is not, water is not in the form of sweetened and carbonated beverages. So you might have heard of a terminology called as balanced diet. What is this? This is, balanced diet is the diet which has a balance of all these important nutrients, including the macro and the micronutrients. So they must be consumed in a reasonable manner. And why we need a balanced diet is for better behavior and learning environment, and because good nutrition helps students be prepared to learn. If you come on an empty stomach in the morning,
One second. One minute.
what's wrong?
No, some display
Display.
proper.
Okay.
ಅವ್ರು ರಜಾ ಕೊಟ್ಟವ್ರು ಮೇಡಮ್ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ಇದೆ
One minute. Oh.
PPT is not
PPT not completely visible. Some partly.
ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ.
ಈಗ just ಈಗ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ.
One minute. One minute.
It's okay.
Madam, you can speak, but
No, with that it will be
image
better
is
for
not
them. No?
visible.
Please. Stop must be there. Register it.
ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಾ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ? ಓ, ನೀವು ನೋಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ?
ನಾವು ನೋಡಿದ್ವಲ್ಲ, ಅವಾಗ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಯಾಕೋ ಇದಾಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಈ ಥರ ನೀವು ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಲ್ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ. ಅದು ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯಿತು. ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇದೆ.
ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ನೋಡ್ದೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಬೇರೆ ವರ್ಚುವಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಅದಾದ್ರೂ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಮುಂದಿದ್ರೆ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ.
ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಇದು ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ.
ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ.
ನಮ್ಮ ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕಲ್ ಹೋಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ವರ್ಕ್ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಯೂಶಲಿ ಅವ್ರು ನೋಡ್ಕೊತಾರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ. ಇವಾಗ ನಾವು ಹ್ಯಾಂಡಿಕ್ಯಾಪ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ.
ನಿಮ್ದೇ ಪ್ಲಾಟ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ವಾ, LMS ಪ್ಲಾಟ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ?
ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ
ಇದು ರಿಲೇ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ?
ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಾವು ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ.
ಹೌದು.
ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಶಂಕರಪ್ಪ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ಒಂದು ಕಲರ್ಫಿಲ್ಮ್ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ.
We have 28 sessions, madam.
Oh, yeah.
And this was the session, where we got an interruption in the middle. Usually, ಆಗಲ್ಲ, but ಅದೇನು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. What is problem with the slides? The content part is not visible.
That's why many of them they have put applied a leave.
Yeah,
that is the
we
biggest
were also
problem.
telling this morning. You see, management, admin should be sensitive about all these issues, you know.
At a time for everybody, they have given this thing. Up to 30th they have applied a
No,
leave.
for us, they have scheduled admissions.
Oh.
31 and 1. 31st and 1st of Jan.
Difficult. It's
Very
very
difficult.
Any administrative work now is really very difficult.
Display
Screen display ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ.
But we cannot take leave, no? We will never take.
In account I will have
That's not even I was telling now. I have so many. If I can give it to anybody, I'll give it.
screen display ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ ಆ ಥರ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಷನ್ ನಾವು ಮಾಡಿಸಿದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಕಾಣಿಸ್ಕೊತೀವಲ್ಲ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಹಾಗೇನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ
Classes will commence from
ಥರ್ಡ್ ಫ್ರೆಶಸ್ ಡೇ ಫ್ರೆಶಸ್ ಡೇ ಫೋರ್ತ್
ಈಗ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ.
display
ಆಗ್ತದೆ
ಹಾಂ ಇದು ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ.
Sorry for the interruption. We were talking about the benefits of water and then moved on to what is a balanced diet. Now, balanced diet is one which includes all the important nutrients, may not be on a daily basis or at least in a week's time, like adequate amount of protein, fat, complex carbohydrates and fiber, and of course daily requirements of water. Why a balanced diet? Because good nutrition helps students to be prepared to learn and do all the physical activity. And there are a lot of studies which have shown that malnutrition leads to behavior problems. So if you are undernutrition is associated with underweight. Undernutrition is associated with underweight and then also with other health problems and behavior problems, and most importantly, sugar consumption has been shown to have a negative impact on our behavior. So here is a pyramid. You can see at the bottom of the pyramid, you see grains are there. That is all the millets or the cereals, wheat, rice, ragi, jowar and pulses and all. These should be consumed on a larger scale. Then next in the ladder is the vegetables and fruits. We must be at least consuming 3 to 4 portions of fruits and vegetables on a daily basis. Then lesser than that should be milk and milk products, meat, fish, egg and other alternatives. And at the tip of the pyramid you will see fat or oil, then salt and sugar. So these are the foods which have to be consumed with caution. We must be consuming less of fats and oils and salt and sugar. So why is it necessary that you guys, like you are all at the hem of your adolescence and going to be adults next. So teens and adolescents, late teenage is a very crucial and a very important phase of life. Why are we addressing you all, and why the focus and why the advice, why this induction program? Now this is a time where we are a bit confused, and you are in a transitional stage from a teenager and next you will become an adult, and you can say you are in a pre-adulthood stage. And this is a time where you have to have fun, make friends, enjoy all aspects of life. To enjoy all that, we must have a mature mind also. See, transition, this is, as I said, this is a pre-adulthood period wherein you are there's a transition happening from teenage to adulthood. And the patterns developed during this time tends to continue into adulthood. And that is why we have to imbibe and adopt good habits, and it's a critical time for developing health behavior patterns, and we need to adjust, we need to make a lot of adjustment about the self-perception because of the awareness of physical changes which are happening at this stage of life. And you guys must spend more time in progressively away from, since you spend lots of time in college, and that results in becoming more independent, and you assume, there is a tendency for teenagers and young adults to take more independent decisions. So we are teenagers or in the pre-adulthood, you are adjusting to the structural and functional changes, learning to think differently, and then also trying to establish new ways of relating to individuals in their environment. And what happens when you imbibe an unhealthy way of life or unhealthy lifestyle? So let's spend some time in understanding what are the consequences of unhealthy eating. Now when I say unhealthy, what comes to your mind? Like, the definition of healthy food may differ and it may vary from person to person. But all food scientists and nutritionists agree, including the medical personnel, agree that the foods which are shown in this slide are definitely unhealthy. You may ask me why. Because they are sources of either only fat or sugar. They are not so rich in proteins and other micronutrients. That is the reason. From that point of view, we say that these are unhealthy. See, faulty habits which are acquired, if we acquire faulty habits, they determine our present nutritional status and health status. They, in the years to come, they increase the risk for developing some chronic diseases in later years. And most importantly, taking too much of sugar, salt and other additives and the carbonated beverages has been shown to remove the calcium from the bone. So it results in suboptimal bone mineralization, and that means your bones are not denser, they are not thicker, and that increases the risk of osteoporosis as you age. Then not to forget the iron deficiency anemia. I'll talk about this anemia a little while later. Then overweight and obesity, and excessive body weight is associated with early onset of hypertension, that is elevated blood pressure, then cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, depression, infertility, and various types of cancers. I will not scare you all with these. So let's move on to a very popular terminology, junk food. I think all of you have heard of this What is junk? Generally, the term junk is associated with something which is rusted and useless metal items or some old furniture and these things which are of no use at all to us, and we just tend to throw it in the dump yard or hand it over to the person who will collect it from us. We all know. But is it right to associate this term junk with food? Yeah, technically it is not a correct terminology, but as a jargon we use it, junk food. It's an informal way to say that what is it? Foods which have little or no nutritional value can be included in this category. So as I said, it's just an informal way of addressing food. So such foods, which are the junk foods, which are high in fat, high in sodium, that is sodium is part of the salt. We use it is sodium chloride, it is the chemical name of salt, the one which we use in all our preparations is sodium chloride. It is 60% chloride and 40% sodium. And sugar. So if any food is very high in only fat content or in salt, or it gives you lots of sugar, then such ones are included in the list of junk foods. Not to forget that these foods, they are easy to carry. You can see at the bottom of the slide, like you have the burgers, the french fries, you can hold them, and your friend riding your two-wheeler, you can sit behind pillion riding and yet you can eat the french fry, whereas you cannot carry a plate of rice and sambar and vegetable and eat it, whereas french fries or a burger or a can of cola or popcorn or chips, you can be driving and you can be eating. That is one of the convenience. It is easy to carry, it is easy to purchase and consume, but that should not be the reason for selecting and including more frequently junk foods in our daily consumption. The terminology, a little history I would like to tell you. It was coined in 1972 by Michael Jacobson, who was a director, Center for Science in Public Interest in US. So in the interest of the public, to inculcate good eating habits, to create awareness about healthy and unhealthy way of eating, which can have a negative consequence on health, he introduced this word junk food to discourage youngsters particularly to eat such foods more often, not to eat such foods more often. So these foods are very attractive. Like you see, all of those which are down below are very attractive. So fast food, we can call them as fast food because it is easily available. You just order, you will get it very quickly, and it is in a easy to consume manner. I mean, the way it is packaged. Fast food tastes good, no doubt about it, but it has a lot of things added to it to make it easy to cook and eat, and these include lots of salt and fat. Once our taste buds, that is which are situated on the tongue, they get used to the salty taste or sugary taste or whatever it is, then you will feel like eating more often. How many of you have not experienced, you open a pack of chips, okay, will you be content with eating 2 or 3 chips? I mean, until the whole packet is empty, our hand will keep going into it, and then only then you will realize the packet is empty. So such is the way how we get addicted to either the salt or the sugary taste or the fatty taste. So we have lots of serious concerns about the effect that too much salt and fat in your diet can have a very negative impact on our health. So here you can see a larger than life size, the long-term impact of consuming a lot of junk food is you will tend to gain weight, and that extra weight what we gain is in terms of fat, okay, in our body, not as muscle. Then it increases the risk of diabetes in later years of life, and if you have a strong family history, then you will develop diabetes much earlier, and also heart diseases. Okay, so let me share some nutrition facts. Please, young friends, don't think I'm scaring you all. It is very important that at this stage of life you develop and inculcate good eating habits. Not only eating habits, even a a good overall lifestyle. It is very, very important because this goes a long way in your later years of life. So, breakfast. I wish you were all here physically in front of me. I would have asked you, raise your hands, how many of you miss breakfast, including the teachers, okay? Because this is a very, very common habit. Everybody says like, I have no time to have breakfast. Please dwell for a minute, look at the word, split the word breakfast. What does it say? You are breaking your overnight fast. So missing that important meal of the day is going to cause lots of harm to your body. So never ever miss breakfast, because it is the fuel to your body. You are providing fuel to your body. You can't drive a vehicle with an empty tank. Similarly, never miss breakfast. It's the most important meal of the day. People who tend to eat a healthier breakfast are likely to have more energy, and they stay healthier and they lead a healthier lifestyle, because our bodies need fuel. So every day, because in the night it's about 8 to 10 hours, or it will be at least 10 to 12 hours since you have had your dinner, and then therefore breaking the fast, overnight fast, is very essential. So have an early breakfast. Breakfast is not to be had at 11 or 12 noon. Scientifically it has to be had 1 hour or 45 minutes, to be even more stricter, as soon as you wake up. But how many of us have it within an hour as soon as you wake up? We don't do it, but try and have it as early as possible. Then eat properly. That is, it's not like slice of bread or 2 toast or something like that, or a glass of milk or a coffee or tea. That is not the breakfast. Eat properly. All our traditional Indian items, they are good sources of nutrients, like your idli, vada, sambar, masala dosa, upma, and various items, parathas and chapati with vegetable. All these give us adequate amount of protein and carbohydrates, what is needed for the entire day. See, when we sleep, our bodies don't utilize, because all our organs are not working at that speed or that pace. So therefore the body will be without the food for at least 8 to 12 hours, and our moods and energy levels can drop if we don't have a good breakfast. So please make it a point to always have breakfast and come to college. That's very, very important. Otherwise you will not be able to concentrate. And then what you're going to have in your break, in your snack break around 11 and 12, is something you will go in, reach for a can of cola or a sandwich or chips or something like that. That is not what your body wants, and that is not the time also. So rule number 1 is don't miss breakfast. So make a pledge, and please give respect to what your mom makes, and then eat that and come. That's very, very important. Never say like, I'll have in the canteen, because in the canteen you get carried away, and you might like the aroma of something, the deep fried items, or it might be a sandwich which is laden with a lot of cheese. So that's not what your body wants in the morning. Then second is, most of us in India, like especially the girls and the women and the young children, are still anemic. It's a surprise. Like if we try and analyze the hemoglobin level of the students, at least 60% of the girls will be anemic. Boys, the reason is why men and boys, they also will be anemic, but they may not be severely anemic, is the reason because they don't menstruate. The monthly loss of blood doesn't happen in them because there is no menstruation. And along with that, our choices of food which are not good sources of iron and protein also increase the risk of anemia. So you might be wondering, what's the big deal about having less amount of hemoglobin in our body? Please remember, it is the hemoglobin which carries the oxygen and supplies it to all cells and tissues. Okay, so it's all about that. On the left hand panel you can see, it's all about how many red blood cells you have and how red they are, because it is associated with the color, hemoglobin. Heme is the color. And you can see here, normal hemoglobin, person with normal hemoglobin level will have many red blood cells in their blood, whereas a person who is anemic, he will have lesser amount of hemoglobin. So less amount of hemoglobin means less amount of oxygen carrying capacity. So a person who is anemic, what can be the symptoms? You are always lethargic, not interested in anything. You're fatigued, you may suffer from headaches, or you might have a pallor, your skin will look dull and pale. Then, depending on the severity of anemia, there can also be irregularity of heartbeat, then just pain, especially chest pain, which could be mistaken for acidity. Then you may feel colder extremities, that is the palms and the soles can be quite cold, and lack of sleep, insomnia, difficulty in sleeping, leg cramps, dizziness, etc. So it can be quite, especially for women because they bear children, it is very important to avoid being anemic and take good care of themselves. So what is the remedy? Include and try and eat lots of green leafy vegetables, because in our Indian diet, green leafy vegetables including spinach, that is palak, which is so popular. So the next time your mother serves any green leafy vegetable item, please don't avoid that. And then for the non-vegetarians, occasional consumption of non-vegetarian food also provides us adequate amount of iron and protein. Egg yolk, dates, raisins, broccoli, beans, finger millet, that is all the navadhanyagalu, that is what, and soya, pumpkin seeds, all these are good sources of iron. Then 5 best foods which are abundant in iron are dates. 2 to 3 dates if you eat are more than sufficient. Dates are packed with energy and they have lots of other essential nutrients. Then the legumes, that is the whole grams, peas, etc. Then all the green leafy vegetables, drumstick leaves and spinach, etc. Then the nuts, a few 4 to 5 almonds or walnuts or any kind of nuts and seeds, if they are included. See, another suggestion or advice, please avoid consuming tea or coffee soon after a main meal, because of the presence of the tannins and the oxalates in the tea and coffee. They will hinder or inhibit the absorption of iron. So this is also an important thing. So many of us have this habit of having tea and coffee soon after your breakfast or along with breakfast or along with lunch. And many, even I have seen, it has become a fancy now to have tea and coffee anytime. So tea, okay, give a gap, at least an hour later or half an hour later. So because it interferes, the oxalates and the tannins which are present in tea and coffee inhibit the absorption of iron. So even if you eat a meal rich in iron, having tea along with that is going to nullify the whole effect of it. And what promotes the absorption is consumption of something which is rich in vitamin C or ascorbic acid, like having sprinkling lemon juice on your food, whatever you are eating. That's a good source of ascorbic acid. Or consuming a citrus fruit like orange or even the sweet lime, Mosambi, or including all these fruits, any seasonal fruit along with your soon after your meal. And see, there on the bottom panel you can see iron plus vitamin C absorption. So presence of vitamin C in our daily consumption will facilitate absorption of iron. So you may be consuming iron rich food, but if you take coffee, alcohol or tea, it will nullify the absorption process. Okay. So then all of us want to be intelligent, isn't it? Who doesn't? Who wants to be a nerd? Nobody. And that too in a professional course. And in today's competitive world, all of us have to have a good GPA score, isn't it? Everybody would want. And every parent would want to see their child to be successful in their academics. So your brain has to be healthy. And there is food for the brain also. Have you ever seen a walnut? If not, next time you break open a walnut and just see the structure of it. It is exactly the structure of how our brain is. Brain has cerebrum, cerebellum and various other parts. It is similarly like that. Okay. Now here I have included a list of foods which are good for brain and memory, like broccoli and then Brussels sprouts and blueberries and walnuts, which are high in omega-3 fatty acids, almonds, and ginger has anti-inflammatory effect. Apple is also good, watermelon and cabbage, like not in the form of gobi Manchurian, okay, it has to be or broccoli or cauliflower, not in the form of that. So there are many foods which are which have been proven to boost our brain and memory. On the other the other side of the slide, you can see 6 worst foods for your brain. Too much of sugar, too much of saturated fat, that is fat which is solid at room temperature, solid saturated fat. Then processed foods which are highly processed, and fried foods, simple carbohydrates, that is sugars, then trans fat, hydrogenated fat, what we know as vanaspati. So these have to be avoided. So excessive consumption of them can change the brain chemistry. Okay, so that's why we have to improve our brain health in order to maintain a good memory. And perhaps this is why our ancestors and grandparents and parents were not suffering from Alzheimer's, which is again a degenerative disease. But over the years we are finding that in Indians, which it never was existing, this was a disease or a degenerative disease more common in the Western population, not here, because we were used to eating traditional and wholesome food. But slowly our food habits are changing, and we are also finding that cases of Alzheimer's is also being found in our elderly population. So sleep. Now you might be wondering why a nutritionist is talking, because see, good health is not just eating good, it is other practices also, including sleep. Sleep is the time when our body will go into a hibernation and then it will try and repair, do all the wear and tear. So lack of sleep can can cause harm to our body. Okay, so especially here you can see the structure of the brain. It can affect many activities like the creativity, the visibility, etc. Then sleep, the quality of sleep matters, like how sound you sleep, what's the duration, how regularly, and what's the time, what time do you go to sleep, is it at 10 or 11 or 2 in the night. And then this can lead to, if there is any disruption in all these, then one can suffer from sleep disorders. So it's very important that you enjoy at least, especially you youngsters should enjoy an average of 6 to 7 hours of sleep, average I'm telling. But sleeping excessively also, like till 10 or 11 in the morning, is also not good. Okay, so at least enjoy a good sleep, restful sleep without any disturbance for about 7 hours. Then you get up very fresh. Why is sleep important? It can help manage your stress, especially you will be better prepared to go. You shouldn't be sleeping on your book in the class when the teacher is speaking about something important and you are feeling very lethargic. Many a time we teachers have seen this in our students. They keep yawning and yawning, and that can put off a teacher. You, however well prepared we would have come, if you see a disinterested set of students in front of us, they are drooping, they are drowsy, they are yawning, then that can put our mood off. So it spikes your creativity, it increases your GPA in academics, and it improves your memory, concentration, or ability to learn, improves your health, increases your life expectancy, and it's very, very vital to your well-being. So there you can see the 4 circles which are intermingled with each other. Physical activity and physical fitness are necessary because activity boosts your physical fitness. Together they improve your health, and ultimately you can perform better academically. Then down below I have a few suggestions. Establish a regular schedule for sleep. Don't sleep at 12 today, tomorrow at 10 and 11, 1 in the night. So avoid sleeping past 7 a.m. Get up at the same time each morning. Even if you have slept a little late, try to get up at the same time every day. Avoid taking naps during the day. A short nap of 10 to 15 minutes, to rejuvenate is fine, but not lengthy hours of sleeping. Avoid caffeine and other stimulants just before you go to bed. because they stimulate you. Caffeine is a stimulant which is present in coffee. So taking such a drink before going to bed will wake up your cells, brain cells, and make time for regular exercise. So night-time screen time destroys your sleep. This is a very important aspect. We are all compelled to, use laptop, see the screen, the smart screen and all. But again, we have to establish some time when you will avoid it. Just before sleep time, please don't use it. That picture there, with a blanket covered on your head so that your mom or your parent doesn't see you're using your phone. This is very, very common in every home. Please, please don't do this. You are causing harm to your vision, your eyes, your brain. Okay? It is sleep time, but your brain is getting confused because you are keeping yourself awake. So why it is important to avoid nighttime screen time is it will take longer for you to fall asleep. It will mess with and delay your day-night clock rhythm. We have a biological clock. Then it will decrease your rest. What is this non-REM or REM is that where you have a restful sleep. You must have a restful sleep where there is no rotating eye movement. Even if we are sleeping, what happens? Our eyeballs keep rotating. So non-rotating eye movement on rotating eye movement should not be there. It should decrease that. It will help you make more alert when you want to wind down, because your body is tired, lethargic, but you are stimulating your brain to be alert and active by taking a stimulant like coffee or any other drink, and then you are watching the screen time. It keeps your mind psychologically engaged. So please cut off screen time at least 1 hour before bed, or discontinue at least 30 minutes. If it is inevitable, you might be working on your project or some assignment, you have to. So, at least a laptop or a desktop is much better. Compared to a laptop, a desktop is better. We even now get screens where you can put, which can minimize the emission of the blue light, especially from the small phones. The smaller the screen is, the greater is the emission of these blue light. And there are lots of studies which have already shown what could be the negative impact of it. And especially in the context of pandemic, we have had a lot of studies. So avoid eating late at night. This is yet one more thing which we find. So please avoid eating very late at night. This can cause several health hazards. Even the gastrointestinal tract, your stomach and your intestines need rest. So don't eat very late at night. Avoid eating junk food during night. Give rest to your GI tract. Your waistline will suffer when you eat late dinners, and timing of the meals have far-reaching effects on brain psychology and your behavior. And irregular eating patterns affect our circadian rhythm, that is the day-night or the biological rhythm. So the last part I would like to, this is, you might be wondering why I have included, but this is a very delicate period of life where you guys, you children can pick up various unhealthy habits. Smoking, it's fancy, it is stylish, isn't it? If you don't smoke, you may be ridiculed by your friends. So you want to impress them, so you will start something which you dislike, or you want to be in the circle, and it might be due to peer pressure also, you might be. So please remember, say no to this. Even if your friend doesn't talk to you or doesn't include you in the social circle, don't succumb to such things, okay? Because drugs, then alcohol and tobacco can have a lasting impact on which are the organs which will be affected. You can see the bottle in the center, the brain, the liver, the heart and the kidney. These are the 4 organs which bear the brunt of all this. So say no to tobacco, say no to drugs, say no to alcohol. So how can we change? It's very difficult. Okay, now here you can see many colors. So we nutritionists say, eat the rainbow of healthy food. God has given us so many varieties, and each fruit and vegetable is differently colored. The different color is because of the pigments which are present, and each pigment is associated with some bioactive material in them and which bioactive substances which confer some health benefit. So try and eat the rainbow, the white, the yellow, the red, the purple and the green. There are lots of vegetables which come under these category, not only vegetables, fruits also. So the benefits are like, you know, the whites, the immune system, it helps in maintaining a healthy colon or a healthy intestine. It can prevent the ulcers. And then the yellows, healthy heart. Then reds, again healthy heart. You can see all of them have an impact on our cardiovascular system. So try to include at least 2 or 3 differently colored vegetables and fruits, and not as processed but as fresh if they are fruits, and vegetables if they are cooked in the normal traditional way. So here you can see the reds. The choice we have: strawberries, cherries, apple, raspberries, watermelon, sweet potato, tomato and bell peppers. Then pineapple, carrots, peaches, mango, orange, yellow peppers and papaya come in the yellow and orange category. In the green category we have the peas, the green peas, the batani kalu. Then the fresh, all the green vegetables. Then kiwi, celery, avocado, green grapes, cucumber, broccoli, spinach and all the green leafy vegetables come under that. Then in the purple category we have the blueberries, the blackberries, the plums, the grapes. Eggplant is nothing but brinjal, okay, badanekai, raisins and then pomegranate. Then the white ones, banana is white, cauliflower, the pear, the white peaches, the mushrooms and the white of an egg. So try to consciously prepare yourself, good foods in, bad foods out. Minimize snacking, make the TV room a no eating zone, because we'll never realize how much we are eating and what we are eating right in front. And let's always have a family time. Physical activity helps with weight management, it boosts self-esteem and encourage family bonding. And not to forget, it releases some hormones which are known as endorphins, and these are feel-good hormones. You go for a walk, you play a game, you feel better. Before playing, if you are angry, if you are upset on something, you go and play with your friends, and you will have forgotten about that anger and that whatever you had created, that burst of anger in you. So that's because endorphins are released when we indulge in physical activity. So what does research say? Research says that healthy eating improves academic achievement. So there are lots of research papers. I am not going to talk about all that. The gist of it is that good nutrition is linked with better student performance, ability to learn, to retain, to memorize, to have a better memory, alertness, and we can process the information very fast. So foods that are rich in fiber, that is fruits and vegetables, protein and healthy fats coming from the curd. Yogurt is nothing but the curd, the apples and the oatmeal and the eggs and all give us a combination of many important nutrients. So learn to pick foods from every color of the rainbow. And the sociologists and economists and the nutritionists have all looked at the diet quality and school outcomes. So all these papers, these studies have said that high quality diet is associated with better performance. So UGC has also brought in an initiative to avoid the sale of soft drinks around educational institutions. So I would just like to highlight on that. This is a good move. Universities across India are asked to issue instructions to see that junk food is not sold in and around the campuses, to discourage students, to encourage good eating habits. And along with that, Ministry of Human Resource Development has also given instructions against junk food in universities and colleges. Why it should be banned? Because we are finding increase in obesity in our younger population. So to wind up, I would like to give you some messages as a parent, as a teacher, and as a responsible person. It's not that I practice and that is why I am preaching. It's not just only preaching. We need to practice it and only then have the confidence to preach. Be responsible for your acts. Avoid getting distracted, because this is a very sensitive phase of life, pre-adulthood. You can get distracted, and focus on your goals. enjoy your college days. I'm not telling you be studious always. No. Play games, entertain yourself, take part in everything, be creative, etc. Enjoy your college days because these days don't come again. Establish good relations with everyone, with your friends, with your peers, with your teachers, with your non-teaching staff, with everyone with whomever you come in contact. Do everything in moderation and make your parents proud. This is very, very important. Do you all understand how, how parents would be looking forward to see you successful all round, being successful all round. It is not just acquiring an engineering degree. Being a better person is very important. That is what makes your parents proud. Don't forget the labor they would have indulged in getting you into these courses, and be responsible citizens of the country. So eat healthy to stay healthy. I would like to share this quote of Albert Einstein. Wisdom is not a product of schooling, but of the lifelong attempt to acquire it. And it's so nice. This Audrey Hepburn, I don't know whether you all know, she was a famous film star of Hollywood. Nothing is impossible, because if you split that I am, there is I am possible. That is, you can do it. That is what we can, there's just a few words of motivation in the end. So make a plan for your days, schedule every day what you're going to do. Please do have a habit of writing and communicating properly, and develop on expertise skill and try to be creative. This also complements your education, whatever degree you are. So this is what I had to share, and as I said, like as a teacher and as a parent myself, these are the few words I thought which would be of use to you all, and I hope this address of mine has induced in you at least some concepts about healthy eating. So that's the view of my department, and thank you very much for the organizers of this induction program for having considered me eligible to address your students. Thank you. Some questions? Yeah, sure. I'm very happy.
Thank you, madam. Thank you for your valuable inputs. You have elaborated on importance of good food and eating good food and good habits, eating habits. For example, a habit of having the foods which are free from junk food and the fast food, avoiding fast food. And you also have stressed on importance of breakfast, the importance of incorporating protein-rich foods and green leaves, vegetables, and also importance of sleep for the better health. Madam, I have some questions coming from the students. One of the question is vegetarianism or veganism, which is better and why?
Oh, I'm so happy to hear this kind of a question. See, the food habits are like passed on from our ancestors to us, and we belong to certain culture, certain faith, which permits or doesn't permit us to eat certain foods. There's nothing wrong. Food habits are your own. You can inculcate anything. But a total non-vegetarian or a total vegetarian is not the ultimate to enjoy good health. There are several vegetarians who have also succumbed to heart attacks, who have also developed diabetes. Okay, so but within that also making proper choices is very, very important. And I wouldn't advise anyone to completely change your food habits overnight. It is not possible. So what was that about vegetarians? And you have veganism. Okay, like these are fancy words which I say have come up now. Some of us are lacto vegetarians, like you don't mind taking milk and milk products. because though it comes from an animal source, strictly if you define vegetarianism and non-vegetarianism, non-vegetarianism is that where you include animal products. But milk and milk products also are of animal origin. However, among vegetarians also there are lacto-vegetarians or ovo-vegetarians who consume even eggs, though it is not, you don't visualize it as a animal source. So these are all fine, like it is your personal this one, but we will not advocate. Personally, I wouldn't advocate to change your food habits to become a complete vegan or vegetarian or become a non-vegetarian. So you have to balance and eat, and there is another fad or fancy of eating only raw foods. That is also not advisable, because only cooked food will be digestible in our gastrointestinal tract.
Okay, madam, thank you very much. I have another question, madam. The people are using Herbalife nutrition for weight loss. Can thyroid patients use Herbalife nutrition?
Herbalife, like we have many of these specialty foods in use, and we find it in the net, in Amazon, in various other this one, and it doesn't need any prescription. You can even order it just like that. So it's actually causing more harm, because you may not need it at all, and that too not at the young, in this stage of life. For you youngsters, these kind of specialty foods are not required. Whatever is home cooked or traditional is fine. But you need a prescription. If you have to be advised or prescribed to use this, meet a nutritionist or a doctor has to prescribe you. Please avoid. And I cannot tell you without looking into the clinical profile of a person, whether he is hypothyroidic or hyperthyroidic. I cannot offhand suggest any person to consume these specialty food products. Okay.
Thank you, madam. Madam, I have another question. What are the ill effects of additives and food preservatives?
See, we add color to the food, like we add, but in moderation, in a pinch we add. But there are certain food additives which are permitted by certain agencies, like you have FSSAI, the preservative, PFO, ISI, etc. They have to be used in those small limits. Like even turmeric can be categorized as an additive because you use it to add color and give some flavor. But there are other like monosodium glutamate, which enhances the flavor, gives you a typical aroma, and some preparations compel that you have to use certain food colorants or food additives. Now, food preservatives have to be added in order to extend the shelf life. But all of them have to abide by the rules and regulations set by the agencies. Especially in India, we have now the Food Safety Authority of India, FSSAI, Food Safety Standards Authority of India, which are spelling out the rules and regulations. It has to be according to that. And preservatives we cannot use. See, salt is the best preservative. Pickle is made in salt. But because it's a preservative, we cannot overuse pickles because you get lots of salt. So all these preservatives, when used within the permissible limit, they are not harmful.
Thank you, madam. Thank you. And I have one question framed myself. No? Is refrigerated food bad for health? Does it affect the nutrition level of the food?
Well, why are we using refrigerators? To increase the shelf life of the food and also to preserve it, and for convenience especially. You buy today and you can store your fruits and vegetables in a proper manner, and you can use it for the next entire week. And even cooked food also we can store. Now I would say cooked food should not, the way you store also matters. Cooked food should never be stored in plastic boxes, because there is a leaching of phthalates from it. Chemistry persons know better. So even we have the low quality plastic being used. So for that reason, cooked food stored in porcelain or glass containers or steel containers. This is one. Then yes, of course, nutritive value, if they are not covered and kept properly, then the aroma, there can be a cross exchange of that, and it can imbibe the aroma of another food, and this food may not be acceptable when you consume. Then you should not be directly putting the stored food, that is if it is deep frozen, you should not put it in the oven or to heat. You should allow it to thaw for some time if it is a frozen one. And even if you take it out from the other compartment of your refrigerator, allow it to come to room temperature and then heat it, because almost all homes have microwave now, so immediately don't put it into that. The only concern is that the vitamin C, the water soluble vitamins may come down, but there is no ill effect because of storing it. But how you store matters, for how long you store matters. That's very important. And raw food like meat and chicken and all should not be stored for long. It should be stored in the deep freezer, properly covered, because there can be microorganisms can grow. So that's very important.
Thank you, madam. Madam, last question to you. Nowadays, due to chemicals, fertilizers, pollution, lot of unwanted substance enter into food items. So if we eat raw food, if we eat raw, due to health consciousness, it will be more dangerous. At least cooking it would solve such issues. But by cooking, nutritional value goes down. How to address this?
A very intelligent and complex question. There are certain answers also in that. Yes, first point is that raw foods. Yes, fruits we eat raw only, but it's very important you wash well because you don't know how it has been transported, and also to increase the yield and also to maintain the freshness and appearance and all. There are many methods which are ethical and or unethical also are being used. So to avoid that, washing it well is very, very important. And if some of the peel has to be removed, because banana cannot be consumed with the outer peel, so we remove and eat. So wherever possible, fruits are eaten raw, you don't cook and eat. Some of the vegetables also you can eat them raw. But what I would advise is, yes, of course you have raised the concern that use of pesticides and fertilizers and the spray material and all, we have to be really careful, because some of them can be carcinogenic in nature, because excessive consumption of that, we don't know what triggers the carcinogenic effect. So therefore wash well, use warm water, and especially when we use green leafy vegetables, because we don't know where they are grown. We don't know what type of water is used for growing them. And if we actually see where they are grown, some of the green leafy vegetables, besides the drainages and storm drains, so we would never ever touch. That is why we encourage kitchen gardens. If you have a small garden, or even in pots, you can grow coriander leaves and spinach and all these. So that's one way. And the other part was, cooking. See, cooking is necessary. We can't be eating raw rice. Can we eat? We cannot. Raw wheat, we have to mill it into a flour, make it into a roti, or in some other form you have it. Cooking improves the digestibility. It softens the cell wall, and when you cook, it gets disrupted, and the starch which is present inside this one will be exposed to the enzymes present in our gastrointestinal tract. So we have to cook food, we don't eat raw. But overcooking can destroy some of the nutrients, and it can lead to formation of complexes which will not be available for digestion.
Thank you, madam. Before we go to the wind up session, I would like to ask another question to madam. Generally, if we go to the doctor say, eat lot of fruits. But when we eat too much of it, there may be some disadvantages as well. Just I want to know, is there any limit for taking the fruits? Can we eat as much as we want, or is there any limit? This is the answer I want.
I got your point. Well, the first thing what limits is the cost. All fruits are quite expensive, except the seasonal ones. So the best option would be pick and buy the seasonal fruits. Like, there is a way why nature has also created for various seasons. You have guavas in some season, but nevertheless now we have all fruits available all 12 months. That is the improvement of agronomy and agriculture. But this is it. Like, how much can you eat? Because the cost restricts our buying capacity. We cannot buy. And it is the WHO and the ICMR, the National Institute of Nutrition, which lays down the recommendations, advises that we take 4 to 5 servings of 70 or 80 grams each of fruits and vegetables per day. So if you ensure this much per day, you are going to get the required vitamins and all the other essential nutrients. So maximum maybe you can have about twice a day a fruit. After a meal or in between as a snack you can have. If you can afford, you can have another time also. After every meal or in between, whenever you feel like eating something else, reach out for a fruit, because it is almost nil in fat.
Thank you, madam. I got another question also. Because with the answer madam has given, I got interested to ask another question. Which time is better suited for taking fruits? Sometimes, if I read the literature available, I find that eating fruits before the meals is better, and some say it is after the meals. Which one is the better time, madam?
The fruits are almost nil in lipids, that is fats. They don't have any fat content except for avocado. That is the breadfruit, and the one avocado which we get in Coorg from that side. That's the only fruit which has, and to a small extent, mango. Except with the exception of a few fruits, none of them contain protein also. But they are good sources of fiber. So if you eat a fruit before consuming a meal, that is lunch or dinner, the main meal, what happens is your satiety level comes down. Okay, you will eat less in your meal. That is the reason why it is advised to have. But there are some fruits like which are rich in ascorbic acid or vitamin C, which need to be consumed soon after your meal or along with your meal in order to facilitate absorption of iron. So it depends on the type of fruit and for what purpose. You want to quench your hunger and you want to eat less of rice or your meal, then a fruit, a fibrous fruit before is better. And if you want to enhance the absorption of certain this one, or you eat less and then follow it up with a fruit. Some of the fruits have got vitamins and minerals which function as coenzymes and cofactors, which facilitate the activity of the enzymes, digestive enzymes. So that is why there is no harm in eating. But for diabetics, we advise them to have a small portion of the fruit soon after the meal or along with the meal to avoid increase in the blood glucose. For diabetics, we advise it.
Thank you, madam, for your valuable inputs. And these inputs will definitely help our students to shape their, nutritional plan for improving their brain power and improving their performance and health. And we are very sorry for the inconvenience caused in the middle of the program due to some technical issue. The slides were not visible. Anyway, I would like to thank madam for accepting our invitation to be part of this program, and we are highly honored to have you, madam. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Pleasure
Thank
is
you.
mine.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you. And dear students, with this we are winding up the session, second one, and the third session will start at 2:30. Please be logged in 10 minutes before 2:30. Thank you very much.
I'm not expecting payment for this.
No.
Today's encouraging and giving correct advice to the youngsters is very, very important
We
because
are also giving
they
a
are-
motivation for the
they are
speakers.
much concerned about the ill
Yes.
effects. Yes, why people are dying younger, why many are becoming obese.
ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಡ ಡಿಸ್ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಡಿ, ಡಿಸ್ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಡಿ, ಹಂಗೆ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡಿ, ಹಂಗೆ ಸ್ಕಿನ್ ಮಾಡಿ,
ಹಂಗೆ ಇರ್ಲಿ ಬಿಡಿ.
ಡಿಸ್ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡಿ ಮೇಡಮ್,
ಜಾಯಿನ್
ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡ, ಹಂಗೆ ಇದಾಗ್ಬಿಡಿ.
ಇಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ಹಾಕೊಂಡಿರೋದು PPT.
ಅದನ್ನು PPT ಇದು ಮಾಡಿ.
ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ತೆಗೆದ್ಬಿಡಿ ಅದನ್ನು.
If anybody wants it, you can share the PPT
Okay,
to the students.
okay ma'am, thank you.
I didn't want to make it too technically.
ಅದು ರೆಡ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ.
ರೆಡ್ ಆದರೆ ಟರ್ಮಿನೇಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಬೇಡ.
ಇದು PPT ಹಾಕಿರೋದು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅವ್ರು ಬಂದು ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅದಿರಲ್ಲ. ಓನ್ಲಿ PPT.